The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
1 week till Jets training camp, and we are live at the Marty Lyons Celebrity Golf Classic. A bunch of legendary Jets are set to join us. It's the Jake Asman Show, live from Long Island. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, live from the Marty Lyons Foundation Classic, the 39th annual golf tournament where Marty and his foundation have raised hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for children dealing with terminal illness, cancer, you name it. This foundation has been around for so long. In fact, right here, I have the heaviest trophy I will ever hold in my entire life, pure bronze. This is the Walter Payton Man of the Year trophy that Marty Lyons won in the year 1984. We were proudly displaying it here at our table where we're doing the show from. But a huge thank you to Marty, who's about to join us in a couple minutes, and the Marty Lyons Foundation for making this possible. It's going to be a different type of show today. We're going to have guests popping in and out, and I want to say this right at the start. A portion of all the gifted memberships and super chats are going to go to the Marty Lyons Foundation, which once again helps children dealing with terminal illness. It grants wishes for these children between the ages of 3 and 17 who are facing terminal or life-threatening illnesses. All the information is on Marty's website. But super chats and memberships, we're going to donate a portion of that to Marty's foundation, and we're going to give away this at the end of the show, a signed photo by Joe Klecko and Marty of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. So stay tuned. We're expected to have on the show today a bunch of great Jets, not just Marty Lyons, also Lance Mehl, Bobby Crable, Greg Buttle, Tony Richardson, and plenty of others. So stay tuned for that. But I figured I'd open the show with this. We had a couple days off, didn't do a ton of shows over the weekend. We got 1 week to go until Jets training camp, and I think we should just start with some of the big storylines we're watching over the course of summer. The biggest storyline is obviously Aaron Glenn and how he transitions to being a full-time head coach, how he transitions in his first training camp. And I think beyond that, really, the notable differences we're going to see between Aaron Glenn's first training camp and then, of course, a Robert Saleh training camp the last couple of years. I mean, I think Aaron Glenn's made it pretty obvious. There's going to be more hitting than we're accustomed to seeing as Jet fans. There's going to be plenty of physicality at these practices. It's not going to be what it once was. You can't have the two-a-days. You can't have, the two-a-days and full contact, but they're going to tackle when they can. And I do think that will translate to potentially having more players, starters, even play in the preseason. Now, does that mean they're going to play into the third quarter in, the tune-up game like they used to back in the day? No, but we're going to see a much different training camp than we're accustomed to seeing. The Jets were one of the worst teams in the league last year at tackling. The only way you get better at tackling, I believe, is to practice it. And I think that's the first thing to watch at training camp. Just the notable differences, once again, between what we have seen and what we're going to get now with AG going forward. The other thing is this, too, right? We got to talk about the quarterback. We know Justin Fields is the starter. We understand that. But just because he's the starter now does not mean that he's the starter week 1 of 2026. This is truly a one-year audition for Justin Fields with this offense. And his progression throughout the summer as he's learning a new offense, that is obviously going to be a major storyline we're following this summer. If you're going to stay with the quarterback, are they going to keep 3? I don't think personally they will, but there will be a battle on the, back half of the roster for QB3 on this team. And, whether or not it truly matters in the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't. Because let's be real, no matter what the Jets quarterback situation looks like, if Brady Cook or Adrian Martinez have to see some action, the season's probably long over. But, Tyrod is a legit number 2 quarterback in this league, and you have him. So eyes will be on Fields when you talk about the quarterback, specifically how he learns this offense. And, we'll get a chance to actually see some of the RPOs and some of the design quarterback runs that you've heard Breece Hall and others allude to. I mean, it makes sense logistically for the New York Jets to build their team in that regard. It makes too much sense. You have a quarterback who is elite with the ball in his hands. You have to take advantage fully of that skill set. The other storyline I'm looking at here, as we broadcast once again, if you're just tuning in, live from the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic here on Long Island. Defensively, who emerges at 2 key spots? Safety, and who emerges at defensive tackle? I feel pretty good about the linebackers. I don't love the depth outside of Quincy and Jamie and Sherwood. After that, you got some question marks. A lot of teams do, by the way. Not every team has 2 good young linebackers like the Jets have in the case of Quincy and Sherwood. But I feel good about the defensive line overall as far as like having impact players, right? Quinnen Williams speaks for itself. By the way, Marty Lyons, Alabama guy. Quinnen Williams, Alabama guy. So I'm sure we'll talk to Marty about that coming up. But you have Jermaine coming back. You have Will McDonald, who had 10.5 sacks. You feel good about the edge. They're probably an edge short. Realistically, we don't want to see Michael Clemens play. But when it comes to training camp storylines, who's the defensive lineman next to Quinnen Williams? Right? In a perfect world, it's Jermaine, Quinnen, Will McDonald. They're locks. Is it going to be Derek Nandi? Is he going to emerge? Is it going to be Byron Cowart? Is he going to emerge? Can Leonard Taylor show us something now in year 2? This team didn't draft the defensive tackle, so that can mean they feel better about the group internally than we do, or they just had too many needs to fill in one offseason, and they didn't think the draft played out the way they wanted to. Right? Those are the questions that you have. So, that said, who emerges next to Quinnen Williams? And then at safety, if you look at the depth chart for the New York Jets at safety, I like the signing that they made with Andre Sisco. I think that's a good buy low, potentially benefit greatly for what they paid him on a 1-year deal. But who's the other safety, right? Who's starting at strong safety? Is it Tony Adams? Is it Malachi Moore as a rookie getting an opportunity? Right? That's what I want to see. Who emerges at safety? Do we see anything from like Jarek Bernard-Converse? Or are they leaving him at corner? Do they move him back to safety? And then staying with the secondary conversation, I think Brandon Stevens, just based on the pure contract, he's going to start. But who at safety is going to emerge and who at corner is going to emerge? With that said, we are about to be joined by our very first guest, and there's no better guest to have on the show than the great Marty Lyons, who's going to sit down with us here at his Charity Golf Classic. Marty, welcome to the show, my friend. Let's get him set with the audio here.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. It's good to see you.
Great to have you here. Let me start with this. Thank you for having us here, and it's great to have you on the show, Marty. I mean,
it's a pleasure. This 39 straight years of having a golf outing. You get to see old faces, new faces, and of course, there's going to be missing faces along the way.
Are you a golfer yourself, Marty?
I am, but I'm not playing today. I'm just going to ride around and thank people for their support and thank people for coming out.
For you, doing this as many years as you have, how have you seen the foundation grow from its inception to where we are here in 2025?
Well, when you look back in 1982, there was only 6 people around the table, and we were all thinking about, okay, how can we help kids that are being cheated out of life? And one of them was Kenny Schroy, my teammate and roommate with the Jets, and his wife, Susan, and 3 other individuals. And I guess the mainstay at that time was a guy named Bill Gibney. He said, well, the first thing you got to do is you got to go and file to be a nonprofit, 501c3. And I go, okay. So once we got our nonprofit status, then we started to try to raise money. And then we had our first wish. And first wish was for a boy named Steve. And if he was alive today, he'd be 59, 69. 59. He's up there. But unfortunately, he passed away. And, you look back now and it's been 43 years. The growth of the foundation has gone from 6 people to now we operate in 14 states. And we've helped over 8,700 families.
When you were a player and you started to think about ways that you could give back. Could you ever imagine the foundation would come to this? Where I have a little off screen here. I was holding it earlier, Marty.
It's
This might
heavy.
be the heaviest trophy of all time, the Walter Payton Man of the Year trophy. Pure bronze. Are they still this heavy, by the way? I can't imagine
You
it
know
like
what?
this, are they?
Jake, you know what? I'm not sure, but getting back to your question, when I was playing, all I worried about was football. And then all of a sudden, sometimes it takes a tragedy to wake up. And on March 4th, my oldest son was born in 1982. On March 8th, my dad passed away at the age of 58. And on March 10th, a little boy that I was a big brother to died at 5.5. So in a matter of 6 days, you go from the ultimate high to the ultimate low, and the next day and the next week. And all of a sudden, time doesn't stop for you. And you realize, hey, God gave you the ability to play the game of football, gave you the ability to go to the University of Alabama. Now you're with the Jets. That's not your purpose in life. Do something with the opportunity that he gave you. And unfortunately, it took a tragedy, but all tragedy, something good can come out of it if people, dedicate their time, their effort, and find a purpose.
Marty Lyons with us here as we broadcast live for the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament. I'm always curious about this in regards to the current Jets. They named their Community Service Award the Marty Lyons Award. How did that come about, and how much does that mean to you to this day that your recognition, your charity work is still honored every year?
Well, what means a lot that I've been involved with the organization 46 years, and then for them to name an award after me and get inducted to their Jets Ring of Honor, it just tells me how much the organization, believes in myself as an individual, believes in the foundation, and it puts an extra responsibility on every time that I go out, because I represent them. I represent them in the community. And if it wasn't for Mr. Hess and the conversations that I had with him to start the foundation, I don't know if we'd be sitting here, Jake, but Mr. Hess was very generous with his time and his money. And he said, you know what? I'll totally support the foundation. My teammates still come back. Bob Crable, Lance Mehl, Greg Buttle, Kenny Shroy, all the guys are still
Klecko
here.
will be here tonight.
Klecko will be here tonight. And, I just saw Phil Villapiano, who I got to meet while he was with the Raiders. And he said, hey, he told his wife this morning, as long as he's doing it, I'll be there.
That's awesome. And Quincy Williams was the recipient this past year. I think Quinnen is one of them as well. I know a fellow Alabama guy, so it's cool to see that award carry on. Now, for you with the Jets specifically, of course, everyone knows you not just as a player, but as a long-standing radio analyst. What was it like this past year, making the transition, of course, not being in that booth and having a different role with the organization?
Well, it was kind of strange because, the one thing that I always liked and enjoyed doing is going down before the game, talking to the players and, letting the players know, hey, I watched it last week, this is what I think you need to watch out, and try to give them a little bit more of an input as a former player, not as a coach. They didn't want to take that responsibility away from the position coach. But I always enjoyed interacting with the players. Now I get to interact with the fans and the sponsors and let them know how important they are to the organization, still represent the organization either at a speaking engagement or a dinner. And, 46 years later, I'm still working for them. So I'd like to get to 50. It'd be great to get to 50, 4 more years of wearing the Jet banner, because once you're a Jet, you're always a Jet. Even if you leave and go away, you can always be a Jet because they always open their arms for you.
I see you're wearing the Jets Ring of Honor ring. Is that what that is right there?
It is. I had a national championship ring from college, and when I first came in the league in 1979, I went to, right after the season was over, I went to the NFL Strongest Man competition to watch Joe Klecko compete. And, there was a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers guys there with the Super Bowl rings. And so I looked at their ring and I pulled my national championship ring off. And I said to my wife, I said, I'll never wear this again until I get one of those. And the only time that I put it on was when Coach Bryant passed away as a tribute to him. And then I had it sized and gave it to my oldest son.
Talking with Marty Lyons here, and a reminder, Super Chats are going to go towards a donation, memberships as well. We're going to give away a signed photo of the New York Sack Exchange by both Joe and Marty on the show today as we're here broadcasting from Marty's Charity Golf Classic for his foundation. Joe Klecko, I have to ask you about him. What did it mean to you to have the opportunity to be his presenter in Canton during his Hall of Fame ceremony?
Well, it meant the world to me because now you're looking at a former teammate, but also a great friend. And, he had his son, Danny, who has 3 Super Bowl rings. He's going to be here today. And I always felt like, hey, you know what, Joe, maybe one of your boys should do it. And he said, no. He said, my boys will get up here and they'll talk about Dad. You can talk about me as a player. And I remember I used that quote from Martin Luther King where he said, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But whatever you have to do, you have to keep moving forward. And that's what Joe did. He waited a long time to finally get into the Hall of Fame.
Did you think he was going to ever get in, like in your heart of hearts?
Well, put it this way, Jake. When I got the job doing the Jets radio in 2001, I said, you know what? As long as I'm up here in the booth, I'm going to push for Joe Namath. The last year I did the radio was 2023, and that's when Joe went into the Hall of Fame. So
mission accomplished.
Man, I would think so, Jake. It was great, and it was great to represent the Jets organization. And Joe is just a good friend, and he'll do anything for anybody. And he was the chairman of the New York Sack Exchange. He made it happen.
The Sack Exchange documentary. First time I've had you on the show since that came out with ESPN. What were your thoughts on that? Did you feel like it was a really accurate depiction of what that era of the Sack Exchange was like for you?
I really did. I thought they were nice to all of us. I know that Mark wasn't happy with the way he was portrayed, and I don't want to get into that because I know that there's a litigation going on. And, for us to be remembered so many years after the fact of playing, I was very grateful. It brought us back into the limelight. It brought us back out into public. And the best part about it is, we got to do it before Abdul passed away. He wasn't feeling well for the last couple of years, and we got to do it. Abdul felt so special, and unfortunately, he passed away, I think, maybe 2-3 months after we did it.
This photo of you guys is so iconic in football history, let alone Jet history. What was it like to record some of the interviews for the documentary back at the actual New York Stock Exchange where you guys took this iconic photo?
Well, the way they did it, Jack. Jake, they interviewed each one of us for 4 hours. Wow. And then they interviewed the group for about 4 hours. And then they put it all together. They cut, spliced, edited. So we didn't know what they were going to use, what they weren't going to use, how they pulled from one piece or one conversation and put it to another, and then put an answer to that question. We didn't know. We had a great deal of confidence that, ESPN, the NFL would do the right thing. And, I think they did. It's sad. And like I said, on the 30 for 30, it's sad that we didn't get along better. But what we did do is we got along on Sunday because we had to play together. And, that's the way life is sometimes. Everybody's not going to get along. Everybody's not going to see eye to eye. But as long as you have the same common goal on one particular day, you'll be all right.
Let's get your thoughts on the current state of the Jets before we wrap up here with you, Marty. Aaron Glenn now, a former player, someone I'm sure that you got a chance to interact with during all your years with the organization. He's now the head coach. What have been your impressions watching him go through OTAs, minicamp? Just your thoughts on the new head coach?
I think the one thing about AG is you look at the tree that he came off of. He played for 5 different teams. He made the Pro Bowl 3 times. He played for Bill Parcells, worked underneath Dan Campbell. Just great experience and a great guy. That's the key. He is a great guy, and he's a Jet. So he knows what it takes to win, and he's very disciplined. He's going to make sure the players are well prepared. He's going to make sure that the players are not just playing for themselves, but they're playing for the guy next to them, the organization, and the fans. So I don't know if it'll be this year that they'll turn the corner, but I think it's only a matter of time. They've got to understand you can't go in the last 10 years 2-8 against Buffalo. You can't go in the last 5 years 2-8 against Miami. you've got to win your division, and you've got to find a way to beat Josh Allen. Not just at home, but you got to beat Josh Allen in his own building. And I think with the defense and everything coming together, I have high hopes. I always start off optimistic in the year, and you got to start fast, and you got to weather all the injuries, and then you've got to finish strong.
When you look at a team from your broadcaster perspective or just being a former player, I think there's a lot of Jet fans who maybe don't have expectations. Hey, this team's going to make the playoffs in year one. But what are some things we could look at from an Aaron Glenn coach team that we could say, we feel like they're headed in the right direction. This team is being properly coached, and we feel good about the direction of the team?
Well, the first thing is I don't think that this team's going to hurt themselves. You hurt yourself with penalties, false starts. I think they're going to be disciplined enough where you're not going to give away that free yardage. I think they're going to be disciplined, knowing their responsibilities, knowing where they got to line up, knowing what the defense is, knowing what the offense is. And I'm happy, very excited to watch Justin Fields, because with today's offense, you need a quarterback with the mobility to get outside the pocket and pick up a few extra yards, slide when you have to. And now that I think the tight ends are going to get more involved. If you can get the tight ends involved, that ties up the middle of the field so that when you're wide receiver, he can't be doubled. So there's a lot of different mixes that they're going to use on offense, but I think it really starts with Justin Fields, and I'm happy he's a Jet now.
Have you thought about what MetLife Stadium could one day sound like if the Jets ever had another home playoff game? I don't think they've had one since your first year as a broadcaster back in 2002.
Well, I know that JETS will be loud, and it'll be often, and it'd be exciting for the fans. I think the fans deserve it. They've been waiting. They've been sitting on their hands, for so many years, just hoping, praying, and, you get to Thanksgiving and you go, oh, no. So, keep yourself in the game. That's it. Make the games relevant in the month of December. And, give yourself every opportunity and make sure that, you're prepared, and make sure that every player has to understand that it's your responsibility to get yourself ready. If you're looking for the coach to motivate you, then you know what? There might be a problem. But he will motivate you.
Oh, yeah.
But you just need to motivate yourself, because everybody has the ability to play in the NFL that are in the NFL. The difference is how well prepared you are from the shoulders up.
Marty, let's get you out of here on this. For those who want to be a part of the Marty Lyons Foundation, make a charitable contribution, what is the best way to do that?
Best way to do it is go to the MartyLyonsFoundation.org. And also, if you have children that want to get out there, high school kids that want to get out and play flag football, we have a flag football game, and we host it over at MetLife. And we certainly could use everybody's support. I always tell people, number one, we need financial support. We've helped over 8,700 families, but the average wish has gone from 2,500 to 7,100 in the last 43 years. So we got to raise more money. And if you don't have money, if you have time, donate time, because it's the only commodity you can't make more of. So if you don't have money, you don't have time, give us your thoughts and prayers, and maybe one prayer is answered and we save a life. We're trying to create hope where sometimes hope doesn't exist, and we can learn a lot by working with children that are being cheated out of life, because they make you appreciate who you are. They make you appreciate everything that you have around you, and they're there one day and gone the next.
Marty, thank you for having us here. And I always get a kick out of the fact that one of the toughest players in the history of the Jets is also one of the nicest guys to ever play for the organization. So thank you so much. Continue success
pleasure,
with the
Jake,
foundation.
And thoughts and prayers to everybody down there in Kerr County, down in Texas. We're praying for you. We hope everybody is found so that they can have closures, and thoughts and prayers are with you, because that's a once-in-a-lifetime event that took away too many lives, too many young lives, too.
He's Marty Lyons. My name is Jake Asman. Quick break. We'll continue. We got a bunch of great guests joining us here, live from Marty's Foundation Tournament here on Long Island.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Lane, what's up, Lane Kerner?
Hey, And Jake, my brother. Do you have any other ideas about what you do now because the season's over?
I hope they draft really good players that help the Jets win.
I'm hearing that they might get, was it Knoble? Yeah. I see him going.
Wait,
I don't know.
Lane, who's Knoble?
The guy that was in college?
Well, a lot of these draft prospects were in college, so I'm trying to figure out who you're referring to. What position does Knoble play?
Was he because I think he plays in one of the college and stuff.
I don't know who Knoble is.
Yeah, Knoble. I forgot his last name. I would have to look it up.
All right.
And okay, thank you for taking my call.
Who's Knoble?
BJF, I'm gonna need you to figure out who this Knoble guy is. You're more of a draft guy than I am.
Knoble at 10. He's bust proof. Lane shouldn't get to announce. He should get to announce the draft pick. No matter who they pick, you should say we took Knoble.
That was a top 3 Lane call ever. You're welcome, Gator. I can't wait to see what you do with that one. We had everything in there. He gave us a Bruce Hall. He gave us this Knoble character. I don't know who he's talking about, but maybe we'll figure it out. Whoa, holy crap, I can't believe it. Lane Kerner's in the house. Choo-choo. We are all aboard the Lane train. Hello, Lane. You guys know when the Lane train calls in, this show could go anywhere, so buckle up. What's up, Lane Kerner?
Zach Wilson is not going to come back. Why don't you think he's going to sign still with the Jets? Is it because he's not good?
He stinks.
Oh, stings? Yeah, same feeling.
The guy is terrible.
I said announce the draft picks.
Lane, I want you to announce a Jets pick. That would make my
Yeah,
life.
I mean, who am I going to pick, though, for the draft? On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Knoble out of college. Then they tell you who the players are from, and their families get excited. You sign him, he should be good going into week 1. Yeah, I know a lot of the football.
That was amazing. I love you, Lane. You're the best. What a draft pick. Lane, you are a national treasure. I think in classic Charles Gorman fashion, I saw a comment from Charles that said, "Who is Knoble?" As we played a full video explaining exactly who Knoble is. So, Charles, I go to you next. Do you still not know who Knoble is?
I think Lane Train's an idiot. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
What do you mean he's an idiot?
He's making stuff up. Who's Knoble? I looked him up on the internet and he's not there.
He is. He went to college.
Guys, stop it. Seriously, I know the bullshit coming out of your mouth. It's bullshit.
Charles, I don't like your tone.
Here,
Charles.
how do you spell Knoble?
Charles, I don't need to dignify your nonsense. See you later. Get out of here. How do you spell Knoble? Doesn't matter how to spell Knoble. All that matters is he's one of the great prospects we've ever seen. More of your calls right now. Let's go to Jake Klein. What's up, Jake?
Well, actually, first off, for 1 second, who's Knoble?
No, he's a phenomenal prospect for the New York Jets.
I tried Googling it. It said like amusement park things. I was like, I don't know.
No, he played at college.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll Google it another time, but
See you later. Jake, thanks for the time. Charles writes in, enough with the chicken soup talk. I'm pissed because of the stupidity this show has succumbed to. Hello, Charles.
Enough with the stupidity. I understand this Lane Train guy may be a nice guy, but does he even know what he's talking about? I've been looking this Kenobi guy nonstop. Here, I'll share my screen with you. I know you're laughing, Jake.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Knoble.
Type in Knoble out of college. It comes right up. It's like the first search. Type it in.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All right, we're back live from the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. And joining us right now is one of the great Jet defensive stars of all time, Lance Mehl. Lance, welcome to the Jake Asman Show. Appreciate you hopping on.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, Lance, for you, I mean, you obviously have known Marty forever. What does it mean to still be a part of this foundation event every single year?
Well, you know, after I retired and went back to Ohio, I moved. I worked with juvenile delinquents for 20 years, and it's nice to see anybody that helps the kids is big for me. So, plus Marty's a great guy, and it's a chance to run in and see a bunch of guys I haven't seen in years. I love it.
What is your favorite Marty Lyons story from your days being teammates with him?
Well, when he hit me and knocked me out, And I woke up on the ground. I was looking up, and he was standing, looking down at me and laughing at me, and said, "You should have ducked." He hit me right in the face.
How'd this happen?
I was tackling the tight end, I believe, from Buffalo, and I just started to throw him down, and Marty hit me right in the forehead with his helmet down. That's the last thing I remember, him coming, and bam.
Wow.
I woke up and he's laughing. "You should have ducked." I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, I'm glad you could laugh about it all these years later. For you, Lance, you were a part of some special Jet teams in your day. When you think back to that era of Jets football, what is some of the things that immediately stand out to you?
Well, I think number one, we had a great group of guys. There was a lot of good guys in that team, a lot of great athletes, and just good people. And then we had so much fun. I mean, we had all kinds of things going on, and our linebacker group was tight. We went out to dinner weekly and took our wives. We had a great time. But the games were just fun. I remember singing coming out of the locker room. Buttle was our lead singer, and we'd be the background noise makers. I mean, we just had a blast. And we made the game fun. And the guys around us, we all had fun.
When you think about the sack exchange in particular, I remember watching the documentary that came out several months ago, and all the guys talk about how it wasn't just them, it was the linebackers, it was the secondary. As a linebacker on those teams, what was it like to play with the sack exchange? How did that help make you a better football player?
Number one, it was so I loved watching the film because I got to watch them. During a game, I had to do what I was supposed to do. After watching the film, that's when you realize how much effect they had because they took so much attention from everybody. I just cruised behind the line, made tackles, and then they had to throw the ball quick because they knew they were getting, you had Mark on one side and Kleck on the other, and they were coming. And it was great to watch. It was fun to be a part of. Just excitement, and it certainly helped us in my position. I wouldn't have played as well as I had if I didn't have those guys in front of me.
What was it like to be teammates with Greg Buttle?
Oh, he's a character. He's a character, but he got a heart of gold. He puts on a big old stick, big guy on campus, but he'd do anything for you. He's just a good person. With who wouldn't even speak to me my rookie year.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was a rookie. He's a veteran. It was hilarious. He didn't start talking to me till he saw me doing the New York Sunday or the Sunday Times crossword puzzle before a game, because he loves that stuff. So that's how it broke the ice between us.
You would do crossword puzzles before games?
Oh yeah.
See, like athletes today, a lot of times they're listening to a certain artist. They got the headphones on. You're just knocking out crossword puzzles?
Well, I listened to my music on the bus trip to the stadium or the car ride, and then I would get to the stadium and I wanted to calm down, so I would do the crossword puzzles. I loved it. It was great.
That's awesome. That is awesome. In your career, I think a lot of Jet fans probably remember some of your playoff moments with the teams. Can you walk us through the playoff interceptions that you had in your career, including maybe one in the divisional round that helped the Jets get to a championship game?
Well, I had two in that game,
yeah.
Actually. The first one was 3 or 4 minutes left, and I thought we were going to run the clock out until we fumbled the ball back. But I remember walking back on the field talking to Darrell Ray and Jerry Holmes. I said, we just got to get it back. No problem. We'll do it. They ran the same plays they ran the first time. So I watched the tight end drag underneath me, and I should have went out with him. That was the plan because I had that outside coverage. But I saw Cliff Branch he slowed down. He was going to curl in just like he did the first interception I had. I said, they're not doing it again. They're not doing it again. They're doing it again. So I just curled in and picked off the pass, and a minute or a couple minutes left. I don't know how much time was left, but it was nice. It was pretty interesting.
What was it like to play in front of arguably the most passionate fan base in the NFL? What do you remember the most about whether you're at Shea or Giant Stadium, the Jet fan base?
I remember my rookie year, the veterans telling me after, at halftime, we were losing, put your helmet on. Don't run off the field without your helmet on because they're throwing stuff at you. So I knew that they were passionate. And the funny thing is that Buffalo game where Marty knocked me out, I went back in and finished the game. And we had a coverage where I had the back on the outside. Quarterback throws it inside of me where I should have had help, but the help wasn't there. I'm not saying who the help should have been, but it should have been there. And they caught a touchdown, and I think we lost the game. And all I remember is, Mehl, you suck. You suck. So I was introduced early on in my career to the passion of the Jet fans. Later on, it was a lot nicer when the sack exchange got going, and that was early in the career there. But it was great. The fans I loved it.
They say there's maybe no tougher place to play than playing in the New York area, but there's no better place to play when you're winning than in New York. You kind of lived both experiences in your career with the Jets. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I love the fans here. I mean, run into a lot of them now. I play in the Namath tournament and Marty's tournament up here on Long Island, so I get to see a bunch of avid, rabid Jet fans, and it just makes you feel good that people actually remember you. And I go home, I'm just me. Nobody. I don't talk football. Nobody talks football with me anymore. It's just part of the past. But I get to relive it when I come back to things like this.
That's great. Do you still stay in touch with the current team at all? Do you check in on how they're doing?
I watch, but I have no connections because everybody's gone from when I played, and I don't call and ask for tickets and do stuff. I just watch.
You should. This fan base would love to have you back.
Yeah, I have come up when Kleck got into Ring of Honor and when Marty got into Ring of Honor. I came up for them, and that was nice. And I did sign some autographs one time out in. But a lot of people had no idea. So, I mean, it's humbling, but that's part of life. You live, you play, you move on, and life's great.
Your thoughts on Aaron Glenn being the team's new head coach, a former Jet? He obviously knows a lot like you what it looks like, what it's not supposed to, when it's not going well, what it can look like when it is going well. He's a Parcells guy. Your thoughts on AG?
I think he's earned his spot. He's done everything he should be doing, should have done, and I look for great things. I hope they give him the chance to succeed. I hate this atmosphere that's around now where everybody's got to win now. It's got to be right now, right this moment. You're going to have your ups and downs. You've got to build chemistry, and that doesn't come overnight. So give him some time, and I think he can turn things around and make it hopefully another championship.
Are you going to play well on the golf course today?
I'm going to play a lot, and I'm going to have fun. I ain't going to say anything else.
That is well said. Lance Mehl has been our guest here on the Jake Asman Show. We're live for the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic here on Long Island. We'll take a quick break and continue with more. Lance, can't thank you enough for your time.
Thank you for having me.
He's Lance Mehl. My name is Jake Asman. Quick break. Back with more live on Long Island. Is there any truth to the rumor you're having Knoble on your show?
Maybe.
Who the fuck do you think you are, Charles? I'm the Canobly, and I'm playing for the Jets next year. You better get used to it, motherfucker, because I'm coming to get you.
Did you see the interview we did with Knoble yesterday when he called in?
No, I did not.
I'm just kidding, Charles. I love you, man. You're the greatest. I just want to be your friend, okay? So, please do my friend. Motherfucker!
All right. Charles, thank you for the time today. Last night on a radio station in this town known as The Fan, WFAN, Keith McPherson took a call from Bobby Midnight, who wanted to ask some questions about Knoble.
All right, let's go back to Bob in Vermont.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think the Jets and Giants will do on the draft, your choices? And also, do you ever hear of a player from college called Knoble?
Knoble? From what school?
College.
Yeah, but what college?
It's just college. Do you ever hear that guy's name?
No, I've never heard of Knoble from college. Knoble from college? What position does he play?
He plays offense and defense.
He plays offense and defense? He's a two-way guy?
Yep, that's what he said.
How do you spell the last name?
Knoble. I can't remember how you spell it. It starts with K, I know that.
Okay, because I'm spelling it wrong on Google.
No, Knoble.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I do not know who Knoble is. Maybe somebody listening knows of a player, a two-way player coming out of college that gives you like 300 options. Looking at Zoo, he's just laughing. I'm trying to find out. A two-way player plays offense and defense. Kanobo is coming.
Do you ever hear of Knoble?
There were two listeners of mine who called WFAN asking two separate hosts if the Jets should take Knoble, and each host was like, they were stumped. They're like, I haven't done enough draft prep. I'm unaware. And they're reciting lines from the show.
John and Seaford, what's up, bud?
A lot of these Jets fans out there want Brock Bowers.
Yes, that is the sexy name surrounding the Jets.
I think the three options you go, O-line, receiver, or if Knoble out of college is there, you got to take Knoble. 5'7", 198, plays both sides of the ball. Not sure if you know him. Mel Kiper had him top 15 pick. What are your thoughts on Knoble?
I don't know him that well, I'll be totally honest with you. Bro, I got to do more.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
All right, we're back here live at the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic. Reminder that all Super Chats and all gifted memberships go towards the Marty Lyons Foundation for the day. Plus, we are going to give away, probably on our second stream later today or first one tomorrow, depending on timing today, this signed photo by the New York Sack Exchange, signed by Marty and, of course, Joe Klecko. So your chance to win that. Thank you to Frank P. with an incredible donation. Rick Kent, even Patriots 12. How about that? Very kind of him. Janice Jet, Stack, everyone who's contributed so far on the stream, raising money for Marty's Foundation. G-Man, the Prophet, as well. And we're going to keep the guests rolling because joining us right now is a former Jets first-round pick. He played for the Jets for many seasons, was a stalwart on their defense. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets great Bobby Crable joins the show. Bobby, appreciate you hopping on.
Oh, I appreciate you asking me.
So for you, when you think back to your career with the Jets, right in the middle of the Sack Exchange, here we are now years later, and you're hanging out with Marty at his Foundation's golf tournament. Right. What does it mean to you to still be a part of this so many years later?
Well, you know, if you're looking at things that count, these are the things that count, and you know they count for things. You know, they're you know what? I don't need to do this. I've lost my touch on this.
You're here helping the foundation, Bob, and
okay.
Your presence, I think, means a ton to the Jet fan base that grew up watching you. So your presence is definitely needed here. We thank you for coming on the show. Well, you know, for you being teammates with Marty and being a part of those Jet defenses, I mean,
we had great fun. I mean, it was more fun than anyone can ever imagine. And
when you were drafted, did you think it was going to be as fun as it ended up being?
No, no, I didn't. That was it's been a great run for me and for Lance. You know, we've been able to do things together and have a great time.
Greg Buttle also is going to be here, so he's Mr. Personality. I work with Greg at ESPN New York. For you, just being a part of everyone talks about the Sack Exchange, and we certainly could get into that, but being a part of those linebackers with the Jets,
yes.
I mean, that was a major strength of the team as well. What was it like to have that relationship with Lance and Greg and be a part of that linebacker room?
Oh, it was, you know, it was second to none. You know, all those guys that you mentioned, you know, we were in a position that, golly, it was really tough. It's tough to put into words, you know. So you know, it's been a great run.
Did you get a chance to watch the Sack Exchange documentary that came out several months ago?
Yes, I did.
What were your thoughts? You lived it. Was it accurate? What it was like?
Well, other than Gastineau and some of the things that he said, you know, he's a goof. He's a goof. But yeah, all those guys they're just a number one.
Did it mean something for you and teammates of Joe Klecko to see him finally get his day?
Absolutely. Yes. That's one of the things that I was able to take away from, and he's one of the great ones.
Do you feel like him finally getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame allowed the spotlight to be kind of displayed on that era of Jets football? Because in those days, you didn't have the NFL package where you could watch every team play. You either had to be in prime time or in the local market. So I feel like Joe's greatness sometimes maybe got lost due to the fact you guys didn't go to a Super Bowl. You guys weren't in the playoffs every single year, and there were
Right.
maybe some other players that got more attention because of that, and Joe maybe didn't get the due that he should have when he was going through it in real time.
I think Joe was always in a position to be able to get the spotlight one way or another, and I think that he was. I mean, whether he was signing jerseys, whatever he was doing, he was in a position where he could take care of himself.
Why do you think it took so long for him to finally get in?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I know that he had some issues outside of the game, but I'm really not sure where he fit in all that.
For you, when you think back to your playing career, is there one game or one play that you made that is the thing that stands out, Bob?
Oh, golly. The one thing that I made, the one play that I made, you know what? No, no.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
you made so many plays.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You make plays, but that all meshes into where you are as one of the teammates. So it just becomes a challenge to be knocking heads with everybody.
How about this then? You
Go
played
ahead.
for the Jets from 82 to
Yes.
88. Do you have a favorite season that you were a part of with the New York Jets?
I'm going to say 82 to 83.
That run to the championship game.
Yes.
I'm not even allowed to say the name A.J. Dewey in front of my dad who's here today. I'm not allowed. I was taught that from a very early age.
I know. Yeah. So.
Do you guys think if you had gotten by Miami, you would have won the Super Bowl that season?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Well, you know what? We had some real opportunities that year, and to make the mistakes that we made, it became just simply, I don't want to say it's a buffoon. We are, we were right there. We were right there.
And for you and that team, what happened afterwards, right? No one seems to have the real story on what happened with Coach Walton.
Well, yeah, I don't even want to go there with Walt. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
This many years later, we still don't know.
Exactly.
For you, Bob, when you look at the current day Jets, do you keep in touch with anyone with the organization? Do you watch the games on TV at all?
Absolutely. Yeah. Keep an eye on the institution, and
it's been tough being a Jet fan lately.
Amen. Yes.
They got a couple of good young linebackers, and Quincy Williams and J.B. Sherwood.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on them watching them play.
Oh, well, you know what? It's a different. It's a different. Shoot. It's a different
style. Era. Yeah.
Thank you. but I think they're gonna do some nice things in the future.
You like the
this
Aaron
far-
Glenn hire?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you relate to him due to the fact, hey, this is the guy that was drafted by the Jets in the first round like you were? He played for the team. He started his coaching/scouting career with the team.
Right.
Can you relate to that former Jet now being the head coach?
Absolutely. Well, I wasn't ever a head coach, so that makes it a little bit challenging. But, being in a position where you're watching guys like him, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal that you're on the show, Bobby Crable. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great to catch up. And I think I speak for all the 80s Jet fans that watched your career. It's great to hear from you on the show today.
I appreciate it.
He's Bobby Crable. My name is Jake Asman. We got a bunch of great guests that join us, including Greg Buttle, Tony Richardson, and many more. Keep it right here. We are live from Marty's Golf Classic. It is the Jake Asman Show. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and reminder, super chats and gifted memberships, they go towards the Marty Lyons Foundation all stream long.
So anyway, how do you feel about Milaka McCauley?
Who?
Milaka McCauley.
I think good. I think I feel confident about him going into the season.
All right, thank you.
Lane, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ricky NY is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Okay, did you lose me?
What's up, Ricky?
At any rate, I will be calling back soon with different Wi-Fi.
You're the man, Ricky.
Gator, I need an intro, buddy. A cool intro, please.
Gator did write in something, though. Searching for an angle for you, Rob. Need you to be a little more off the rails.
I can get off the rail if he wants. Gator, give me an intro. I need an intro, Gator. Don't let me go looking for you. Do you want some of this? How's that, Gator?
That might work, Rob. There might be something there. I'm not going to tell Gator how to do his job. That's like telling Picasso how to paint. Gator wrote he just shit himself, so you got that, Rob. Maybe you'll have an intro. I don't know.
Maybe Gator will make you an open if you weren't so cheap with your stupid chats.
All right, fine. Here, how do you go? For this is what it's all about, right? Mother effing goddamn super chats.
How do you feel about your matchup with Charles Gorman?
Oh, looks like a cartoon thing. He has good moves. How do you feel about this whole Dazan Reddick news?
I think Dazan should show up to training camp immediately, Lane.
I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl without him. I look like V-Man in the bed right now. Yeah, moving along.
Thank you for the call today.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is an absolute legend and someone that fans of the Bobby Midnight program know oh so well.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. Now, I have a surprise for you.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Sarah's coworker, Craig, also in Australia. Craig sent me a photo here, and full disclosure, I haven't seen it myself yet. I'm just uploading it now, so I'm going to put it up on the screen. Craig insists that we have you break this photo down live on the air. So, Sarah, break this down for us.
It was a good night.
Bottom left in particular, what exactly is happening?
That's the one. That's our esteemed colleague, Mario.
He likes the ladies. Let's put it that way.
And they're a fan of him too.
Now, Sarah, I have to do it because when things like this occur on the show, there's only one thing I could play.
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, calm your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
You gotta chill, man.
In all fairness, I'm just posing. Mario's the one doing the
The biting.
I haven't looked at the chat yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of freaky.
We're back here at the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Classic, and joining us right now is a Jet who was a part of a team the last time they won the AFC East. Former Jets cornerback Aaron Beasley joins us now. Aaron, Does that make you feel old that 2002 is the last time the New York Jets won a division title?
You just took my thought out of my head. I'm like, damn, I'm that old. But I mean, I've been watching, and it's been close, and because the main thing that we are looking for is consistency, even as players, and I feel like with a guy like bringing Aaron back, I feel like you're gonna get that because that's the kind of player he was. He's a Hall of Fame player if you look at his stats.
It's interesting because you just missed playing with Aaron Glenn by a year, the expansion draft in 2002. I remember Jet fans devastated when they lost AJ, but then you come in, of course, and you're a part of that 0-2 team. But so much of what we've heard about Aaron Glenn is that he's very Parcellian, that Bill Parcells had this huge influence on him, and the influence that Coach Parcells had on the Jets was still felt even when you were there in 2002, of course, with Herm Edwards at the time as the coach. What do you remember about the way the organization was that you were stepping into ahead of that 2002 season?
Well, the thing is, I really didn't know, because I saw, playing the games against Jets, I saw, Aaron. I'm like, why is he getting released? And they let go of Marcus Coleman.
That's
so
right.
When they released both corners, it was pretty like shocking. But I just feel like, throughout everybody's career, these guys really. They're going to step up this year. That's what I'm.
So you're confident in Aaron Glenn?
Yeah, and here's the thing:
from one corner to another.
Yeah, because when you talk about that Parcells discipline, I played for Tom Coughlin for 6 years.
Right, in Jacksonville, right?
I know what kind of leaders they are. Detailed, meticulous. The game plan is going to be tight, and you just got to go out there and execute. I mean, because that's the main thing. Everybody has the skills, but it's execution. And I feel like with a guy like Aaron, the foot up the proverbial boop, boop, you know what I mean? So you want that kind of discipline instilled in your team because that's what it takes. It's the little things that count in this game.
When you think about your playing career, being a corner in the league to what it is now, has the position changed in your opinion? Like what is asked of a corner? I mean, we were spoiled as Jet fans for many years watching, in my opinion, maybe the greatest I've ever seen and will ever see Darrelle Revis play. But when you watch this corner play in the league now, what are some of the biggest differences or maybe even similarities to when you were out there as a player?
Well, there's not as much physicality, and, we played, we were knocking you out. You come across that middle, it's an intimidation zone. What I see, though, the one thing I don't see, because, I wasn't fast. So I really had to, slow people down by using technique. Well, I don't see a lot of guys, putting hands on receivers and they're bailing out of there because in this game, I mean, now the sack number is 3.5 seconds. You have to get the ball off, and if you could slow these guys down, just a tad, you help your pass rush because it's the ultimate team game because that front is going to make the secondary look good, and if you can help them by slowing these guys down, it'll come together.
When you think about the toughest receivers you had to go against in your career, who's on that list for you?
Well, I had to go against Jimmy Smith every day down in Jacksonville.
That must have been a challenge.
Man. Oh, man. Because my thing was I played at West Virginia. I got drafted in 96. And I didn't know who he was. But then you go out there and who is this? But Jimmy Smith, T.O., big, physical, strong. Randy Moss, of course. Randy Moss, first step, full speed. That kind of guy. But now you see these guys now, they're all these 6'4", 6'5" basketball players. It seems like a lot of these guys realize they're not going to be a basketball player. And if you're 6'4", you only got one position. 6'4", you can play all kind of positions in football. So it's a different game just because of, you got the RPO. When you got quarterbacks that can run like this, even when you think about the tight ends now, when I was playing, tight ends were blockers. Pittsburgh Steelers were blockers. Was it Mark Bruner? He was a blocker. I didn't see him catch but maybe 10 balls a year. Now these guys are actually receivers. I was watching the guys yesterday at the tight end camp. Man, 6'5", 260, and the moves they're putting on people now. And you got to think, too. So I played with Kyle Brady in Jacksonville, and, the first time he came down there, we got into a little scrap because I'm a Pennsylvania guy. He's a Pennsylvania guy. And I just went to testing, but I'm one of them guys. I know I didn't have a chance. He's 6'7", 270. But I just, you sparked that energy, and I feel like he felt what I was doing, and we became best friends. Like being Kyle.
Really?
Yeah, I love Kyle, man. That's my guy. Kyle would come down to West Virginia and hang out with us when he was in Penn State, and that was pretty fun.
Wow.
We had some fun.
I can only imagine. Former Jets corner Aaron Beasley with us here as we're live for the Marty Lyons Foundation Celebrity Golf Tournament. I want to ask you about Sauce Gardner because I'm sure you still keep tabs on the Jets. He's up for a contract extension now. It sounds like they're moving towards getting something done. From what you've seen from Sauce, his first 2 years in the league, he's first-team All-Pro. Last year, for his standards, it wasn't as good. There were some missed tackles. There were more penalties. Can you just speak to just how difficult it is to maintain that level of All-Pro play that, to me, just watching it, while he wasn't maybe as good as last year as he was his first 2 years, this guy's still an unbelievable player, and it's so hard to play the position. Can you speak to that as someone who actually played it in the league?
It's the hardest job in football. I mean, we say quarterback, but he got people blocking for him. But we're out there on the island, and, like I said, with these athletes nowadays, like imagine a guy, Calvin Johnson, 6'6", 230, running 4.3. You got to be perfect every time. And it's all a mentality. So I feel like last year is going to get him back on track because, they weren't winning. Sometimes you lose your focus. But I feel like with an AG, he's going to be he's going to
be on Sauce.
Yeah, because I look at it like this. When the New England Patriots and the Jets, I say both of them because that's kind of the Parcells tree.
Sure.
But you're going to get a lot more zone. You're going to get a lot more guys being able to put their eyes on the quarterback because nowadays it's so much harder to play man because of all these little tricky routes they run. So it's just one of the things, like, you're not going to be perfect every year. You're not going to make the plays you made last year. Well, you may make more, but you just got to go out there, try to be consistent, and just every play, grade 100. That's what I used to think. Don't even worry about the rest of the game. Just this play, grade 100.
Your career, let's go back to year one with the Jets, 2002. Team is 2-5.
I call that you played to win the game.
That's where you know where I'm going. I've had Herb on the show a bunch. He joins me on the radio all the time. Great guy. Love him. What was it like to play for Coach Edwards? And what was it like being a player when you guys get wind of you play to win the game, iconic press conferences? You guys then go on to win the AFC East, and we don't need to talk about the fact you haven't done it since. But that moment, experiencing that press conference, did it rally the guys in the locker room? What was it like being a part of all that and that run to the playoffs in 2002?
It really did because it showed that he knows football. He knows, like I was just talking about, you're not going to make every play. You're not going to win every game. But it's just come out there in the next game, stack a win. Then you do it again. You just stack wins. And like I said, every play is a win. You stack a win. But
you guys made the quarterback change, the Chad as well. Mm-hmm. What was it like watching him on the practice field and then become the starting quarterback that season?
Sometimes it's just a spark of energy, like Vinny wasn't playing that bad, but we needed some kind of spark. And Chad came up in there. He saw things differently, and he just made the plays. I mean, throwing in Lavernius and Santana Moss isn't hard to do, for them guys.
Was it hard to cover them in practice, by the way? Corbett as well?
Corbett. I played against Corbett in that playoff game.
Right.
I played in the 98 Jaguars.
The divisional round, yeah.
And Corbett is he's not fast, but he's so shifty and crafty. Like, he knows how to nudge you and push you off, and you never.
Was he frustrating to cover because of all the different things he would do?
He was, man, because I like to put my hands on people, but he wouldn't let me. A guy like Lavernius was more, fast, but he wasn't like the quick shake. But Santana was both of them. Santana was quick, shake, and then first step, full speed. And it'd be fun because, think about it, I only ran a 4.6, and I'm out here covering guys that run 4.2. And, to me, I love that challenge of, being physical, trying to put some hands on somebody, and letting Mo and John Abraham get there. But I feel like in today's game, I really feel like the receivers definitely have the advantage, because you can't hit them. And the danger zone is no more the danger zone. And, we'll see. I just can't wait to see this whole season. I'm a big football fan. I probably have a favorite player on every team. That's the way I grew up. Like, I just try to emulate somebody who I wanted to be. And it like, Herm was one of them guys. I grew up an Eagles fan. And, like, that was one of the main factors. I'm like, Herm Edwards called me? He's a D-back, former D-back. I'm like, I'm going. I didn't even take another visit. I was like, I'm coming here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That was the story. Now, what I remember as a Jet fan about 2002, is really the last week of the regular season. You guys need to win to get in. You need to get help to get in as well. Ironically, it's the Patriots of all the teams that is helping out the Jets. And the crowd at the old Giant Stadium just goes crazy when I think it was Vinatieri hit a field goal to help the Pats win. So then all you guys needed to do was beat the Packers.
Yeah.
Take us through what that week was like, because to me, it's one of the loudest the stadium has ever been for a Jet game.
Let me read. Okay, so that game, I had missed the week before, and I think we kind of sealed it, and all we had to do was win.
Right.
We played the Broncos the week before,
and then if you beat the Packers, you're in the playoffs. You're the AFC's champions.
And the thing is, like, you just go win the game. Like, you can't control anything else but your effort, and that's what I always believe. And I like the story about this game. So it was so cold that game that we're playing Brett Favre, of course, strong arm. I go out. We're playing a cover 2. Terry Glenn is in the slot. R.I.P. Terry Glenn. Terry Glenn's in the slot about to run a out route. And I was about to light him up. And he saw it because, I would hit somebody. And Brett Favre threw the ball so hard, it tipped off his finger, hit me on my helmet, left a leather mark.
Wow.
So I come up into practice the next day. I got a brand new helmet. I'm like, yo, where's my helmet? They showed me. They're like, here, we're going to take this and you're going to get a new one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how hard and that's how cold it was that game. And so I'm a Northeast guy, so I don't mind that stuff. But it was fun, man. It was exciting because, like you said, where we started, because we almost had a brand new team, if you think about it. Donnie Abraham came. I came. Sam Garnes, Sam Coward.
Yeah.
So it was like a mismatch of players from different teams and like trying to fit together and get on the same page. That was our thing. And it finally clicked, and, we ended up good.
How much fun was that 41-0 ass whooping you guys put on Peyton Manning and the Colts the following week?
I wonder, is that the only time he got shut out ever?
Has to be, right?
Yeah. Hey, it was like, I was one of them guys. I would see something and I saw something in the scheme. And what happened was he would always run that clock down to like 10 seconds before he made his little, all that. So we did some, it was the funniest thing. We would do something like all line up at 8 yards and just stand there waiting. Or then our safeties would switch sides. So he called 3 timeouts in the first quarter, if you don't realize it, because we had him so confused.
Right.
And it didn't hurt that we let the grass grow, so we were more of a running team. They were more of a passing team. And
I just remember the iconic, screen pass to Richie Anderson down the sideline, the blocking in front.
Yep.
And, rest was history after that. It was never a doubt.
Yeah. I don't think it was a doubt from the beginning. Like, we saw that on film that, he's going to go to 10 seconds and then he'll call his play. And we was waiting until 10 seconds. It was almost like a Braveheart. Hold. And then we just get into our formation, and it was like, oh, man, timeout. That was pretty fun.
That is fantastic. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on. It's so cool how in tune you still are with the organization. I'm sure it means a lot to Marty that you're here as well. And thank you for those couple of years you gave the Jet fans, because we're starving to try and get back to what it was like in that 0-2 season.
We got the right coach, and I feel like you got a guy with, like, Justin Fields.
Yep.
He's hungry right now. He's out to prove
It's going to be his last chance to be the guy.
And that's a dangerous quarterback, so we'll see. I'm ready.
Love it. Love it. Aaron Beasley with us here. Quick break, back with more. We got plenty of great guests still that will join us throughout the day today. Keep it right here. Jake Asman with you. Remember, Super Chats and gifted memberships go towards the Marty Lyons Foundation. Back with more in a bit right here on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. Andrew Fialco is on hold, so let's go to Andrew, who's up next. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Jake. The chat keeps blowing up with these Zach Wilson truthers, so I want to show you some film on this guy to help tell the story. Okay, let's start with this pass to Garrett Wilson. Here's against the Bills. You can see if I stop it here. Zach has a clear shot at Garrett with nobody in his face. Play it forward a bit. Garrett is fighting off the defender here, but single coverage. Stopping here, you see how even a 6-year-old blind albino alligator could have thrown this in a better spot. Thank God, Garrett is a friggin' stud as he makes the catch, allowing Zach to celebrate like he helped the team win a Super Bowl. Here, Garrett tells the ref, hey, ref, did you see how fucking horrible that throw was and I still caught it? Disgusting. One more film breakdown here as we see Zach returning from the sideline, unable to navigate himself with any success, back to the huddle. Thankfully, his teammates were there to help him up off the ground, but unfortunately for Zach, they chose to not help him. Zach's ass had a large bruise that took a while to heal, although his mom's friend gave him some aloe to rub on the buttocks, and that helped a little. Next week, I'll have a full film breakdown of Cole Thompson's scooter crash from the combine. Thanks for having me, Jake. Gator sucks.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for that film breakdown, Andrew.
Dude.
Great job.
I was waiting. I was like, one day I've seen those before. I'm like, Gators got to get me one on more of these. Oh, Gator. That was damn good.
The only good thing that happened to me late tonight, early this morning, was making sweet, passionate love to my fiance.
Joining us right now is a man who knows a thing or two about making sweet and passionate love to his fiance. Ladies and gentlemen, Boy Green Esden Jr. Hello, Paul.
Speaking of the sweet, passionate lovemaking, I'm outside a laundromat right now. I think we all know what I'm here for. Had to wash the sheets. If you catch me, that had to happen. Yes, after last night, it was phenomenal. For those who are curious.
Congrats on the sex.
The sex was great. I might get in trouble with any more details, but
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
Oh, you have.
We're back here live for the Marty Lyons Celebrity Golf Tournament on Long Island. And joining us right now is one of the legends in sports broadcasting, Ann Ligori. Ann, great to meet you in person and great to have you on the show.
It's great to meet you too, Jake. I've known your dad forever.
How many years have you now been coming to Marty's event?
You know, I don't keep track that much, with numbers, but I just remember the early days of this event when it was at a course called Fox Hollow in Baiting Hollow, a little, more east of here. So it's just, I've been supporting Marty and his foundation for at least 30 years. So it's been a long time.
What does it mean to you that it's continuing to grow and continue to obviously make a major impact on so many young children throughout the country now?
Oh, absolutely. Marty has done such incredible work, he and his team, and consistent work, as you say, year after year after year. And I love, all the young people that he supports and that the foundation helps, and it's heartwarming. And yeah, I've been a big Marty Lyons fan, forever.
When you think back to where the event was when you first started being a part of it to where it is now, what are some of your thoughts on just how it's evolved over the years?
I mean, he's always done a really great job. A lot of people have always come to support him. So no matter what golf course he has had it at, there's always been a lot of support. So, but it's just the consistency, I think, Jake, is important because through the years, it's hard to keep up, to get the interest. There's so many celebrity and charity golf events all over. And there's so many days on the calendar, right? Especially Mondays when they tend to do these charity events. So I think the consistency and his just willingness and passion for helping others is the key. I do my own charity event for cancer research, and we celebrated our 27th.
Wow,
Ann
congratulations.
Ligori Foundation Charity Golf Classic. And we always have it out in the Hamptons on the east end of Long Island. And so I know I can relate to, the challenges of doing a golf event, yet the joy of being able to have the, regulars come every year to support the cause and all that goes into putting it together. And so it's a passion of mine as well to not only, grow awareness for cancer research and to help young people who have cancer in all ages, really, because cancer, affects all of us directly or indirectly. And so I always try to support, my colleagues in sports broadcasting and in the sports business and all their incredible endeavors. There's so many great people in our business, in sports and broadcasting and golf. And Marty's one of them. He's a true gem.
People hear you still on the Fan weekly every Sunday with your show, but in your career and all the different events and athletes, performers, people you've had a chance to cover, what are some of the favorite Ann Ligori sports stories in your career as a broadcaster?
Well, people who listen to WFAN, I was the first woman to host a call-in sports show on the Fan. And that was, my show started back, my first one was July 4th, 1987, way before your time.
Yes, just a little bit.
I'm really dating myself, but I feel like it was just yesterday, Jake. I had to make a big splash, a big name for myself. Back then, women really weren't given opportunities in sports broadcasting. It was very rare. And so I thought to myself, like, who could I have on the show that will really be a big hit? And at the time, Doc Gooden was the biggest name in sports, and he had just gotten out of Smithers rehab. So I was determined to get him on my show, and he wasn't doing interviews. The Mets weren't letting him really talk to anybody. So I remember going to the first game that he came back after rehab at Shea Stadium back then. And I just went right up to him, and I told Doc that there was this 24-hour, 7-day-a-week radio station that's going to start in a week. Could he be my first guest? My show is called Hey Liguori, What's the Story? And he looked at me and he said, sure. And then I had to like maneuver him and get him out of the Mets locker room, someplace where it would be private and quiet, so not everybody would stick their microphones in his face, because I wanted the interview to be exclusive.
Oh, you recorded it right there?
Yeah, I
with
recorded it right there. We weren't even on the air yet,
Wow.
WFAN. But I definitely needed to take advantage of the opportunity, and he said, yes, let's do the interview. And so he was my very first interview on my very first show, on the very first Saturday of WFAN's existence. And again, that was a long, long time ago. So every time July 4th comes around, it's just another year to celebrate. So that show is called Hey Liguori, What's the Story? And that was all sports, a call-in sports talk show. And then I did that for 25 years. And then I pitched a golf show to them. And Talking Golf, this is our 8th season of Talking Golf on Sundays from 7 to 8. And it's been great.
Were you always a huge golf fan? Did you play it growing up? Like, how did you get the connection? Because people, I think for the most part now, associate you as the go-to golf person in this market. How did that come about?
Isn't that interesting? Because I didn't play golf when I was a kid. I played every other sport. I actually earned, back then, you could double in sports in high school. So I earned 16 varsity letters. And we didn't even have a golf team in my high school. I went to a small high school in Ohio, a small town called Brecksville outside of Cleveland. And I played on the boys' tennis team because we didn't have a girls' team at the time. And I played #1 singles when I was a senior on the boys' tennis team. So I was a big jockette, right? And a very big athlete. And so I started taking up golf in my 20s. Wish I would have played when I was a kid. But the Golf Channel hired me. I hosted a primetime show on the Golf Channel. I was also the first woman to host a primetime show on the Golf Channel. And that show is called Conversations with Ann Liguori, where I interviewed celebrity golfers, not pro golfers, but people like Celine Dion and Matthew McConaughey and Sylvester Stallone and Kevin Costner, people that I could book as guests on the show, because I booked my own guests as well, who were passionate golfers who weren't professional golfers. So when I started doing this show, Jake, I started going to all these great venues for golf. And, Jim McClain was down at the Doral, famed golf instructor. And I got Sylvester Stallone there with Jim McClain. And while I was there, I took lessons.
Wow.
And then I'd go to Desert Mountain in Arizona and interview Matthew McConaughey. And another great pro was there. So I started kind of being a real enthusiast about golf, but I also had to learn the game because I was getting some pretty special invitations to play in these kind of events. And back then I was the only woman going to these events, and I wanted to be a respectable player. So once I started taking lessons and got into it, I loved it. I didn't want to stop playing golf. So
were you ever intimidated as kind of this pioneer broadcaster, one of the only female broadcasters out there going through all this?
It was always a lot of pressure on my shoulders. I put pressure on myself because I thought, if I failed, if I wasn't a success, not only would it hurt me, but it would hurt the opportunities perhaps for other women who were wanting to get into sports broadcasting. And all these years later, look how it's changed. There's so many more opportunities for women, So, but I always knew in golf also, I'm an athlete. I'm very competitive. I always wanted to be a good golfer, but golf is hard.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough. You ask Michael Jordan, you ask Wayne Gretzky, you ask Marty, you ask any of the athletes in this room at this tournament, they will say golf is the hardest sport ever, more than any other sport that they've ever done. So I love it. It's challenging. I'm going to Ireland Wednesday for the Open Championship at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland, and then we're going to stay over and play 6 rounds of golf.
Wow.
And I travel all over the world. In fact, this past May, I was also in Ireland. I promoted golf in Ireland for many, many years. And Carn Golf Club, this gorgeous golf course with dunes as high as skyscrapers. It's in Western Ireland. They named me president of their International Members Association.
Congratulations.
So thank you. They made a green jacket for me. And, so I get to bring that with me on this trip to Royal Portrush. But I just love golfing over there, and it's just spectacular. So golf has become not only my job, but my passion and my lifestyle.
And thank you for popping on the show. It's been amazing to follow your career, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you at the Ryder Cup down the street
Yes!
with Bethpage Black
Can't
coming
wait.
up.
Let's do it again.
And LaGoria with us here. Jake Asman with you. Quick break. We'll continue with more live from the Marty Lyons Foundation at the 39th Annual Celebrity Golf Tournament right here on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. More coming up live from Marty's event.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.
When was the last time you took a shower?
I don't know. Thursday evening.
You haven't showered since Thursday? You probably reek. Oh.
He stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta be disgusting.
Constantly played down to competition. How the hell did he lose to Zach Wilson when Zach Wilson was fucking trash? Let me finish, okay? Are you...
How was the dinner the other night? Did you see Charles there? He had to leave early because his mom wanted him home. Do you have any other words also you want to ask me?
What was your question to me?
Do you remember Sam and Darnold? He was good, but then I think he retired because he got old.
He's on the Vikings.
I wish I can get Charles's recipe for soup.
Me too.
Yeah, but anyway, Mourners, Knoble is alive. He's just not starting yet.
Where is
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Lane, thanks for the time.
Right now, what I need to have happen, Charles, I need you to put on the Gorman tank. It's Friday. The vibes are high. Put on the Charles Gorman-inspired Jake Asman Show tank top for the people.
I will maybe next week.
What? Put it on. Put it on. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Football is back, bitches.
Give us one more spin around, all right?
Give us the full modeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the ass. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Charles, would you like to respond to Gator? He says you look like you combed your hair with a pack of firecrackers. How come you didn't congratulate him?
I did on the baby. Yeah, he had a.
You didn't say this, though.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Congrats on the sex. Oh, my God.
Yeah, how do you think babies are made?
No, it's funny. True story. When I was a kid, I actually thought I came from a stork. I shit you not, man. Like, you know, when you have all these dreams and shit, it's like, you know, here you go, here's your baby. That's what I thought happened to me when I was a kid.
So to be clear, you were not acquired via stork, right?
Yes, I was biologically made by my mother and father.
Dennis Gorman?
And my mother, Roseanne.
Shout out to them. They did a great job with you, Charles.
Was it sweet and passionate, or are you unaware of those details?
Why do I need to know those details?
I don't know. Maybe it would have. I mean, you wanted to know whether it was stork or baby making, so I don't know. Just figured you'd want intricate levels of detail.
My parents made love twice. They gave birth to my brother, and they gave birth to me.
Okay. Thank you very much for clearing that up.
I'll just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the f out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
Here we go, live from the Marty Lyons Celebrity Golf Classic. Our live show continues, and joining us right now is two-time Super Bowl champion Terry Hanratty. Terry, appreciate you hopping on the show.
Well, thanks, Jake. Great to be here.
You're the first non-Jet we've had today. How did you score an invite to Marty's event?
You can only have a certain amount of jets. And you got to throw a Steeler in there.
What is like the extent of your relationship with Marty? How did you get to know him in the first place to be a part of this event for as many years as you have been, right?
No, it's.
Was this the first time?
My first time.
Wow.
Here,
Okay, there you go.
It really is. It's going to be great because I met Marty several years ago in other golf outings on Long Island, and he told me about the foundation, and I said, boy, that is just amazing. And we finally got to the point where my schedule coordinated with his golf outing, so I'm here and hopefully come in the future.
Does it ever get old being introduced as a two-time Super Bowl champion, by the way?
No, it's to the point when you say, when people don't remember you, that's when you start feeling bad. But now it's fine.
You know, for you and your career, what are some of the things that you think back to? Is it right away the Super Bowls? Do you go back to even your career at Notre Dame, where you were obviously an unbelievable player? What are the immediate football memories that stand out?
Well, what really stands out, I think, is the early success we had at Notre Dame. And playing for Ara Parseghian, I thought it's still one of the, next to my father, the greatest male influence in my life. And, it was, we won a national championship. Back then, you could only play 3 years. But the first year, everybody in the country, they figured they needed time to adjust to college, to the academics, and to the football and whatnot. So, and I started all 3 years, and we won a national championship my sophomore year.
And you were an All-American 2 of the 3 years as well.
All-American. I was top all 3 years. I was top 10 in the Heisman voting also. So it was a lot of fun, and it's good memories. And it's different. College football is so different from the pros, because when you're in college, you not only meet your college teammates, but it's everybody who lives in a dorm with you, who are all obviously Notre Dame fans that are attending the university there. So, but in the pros, it's more, people have family, people have kids who you're not as close, but it's all great. I mean, I just got back with Terry Bradshaw, and I did a autograph signing in Cincinnati. So we were over there for a couple of days. So
what's it like hanging out with Terry? That's got to be fun.
It is. When he and I get together, it's just a laugh. I mean, we had to sign about probably 1,000 pieces of merchandise, and he couldn't do it because he was laughing so damn hard. I put my head down. I could talk and write at the same time. So it's fun to go over all the old stories from way back when.
Was it when you were going through it, being his backup, of course, right? What stood out to you watching him up close? Like, did you notice right away something that he did that allowed him to be one of the great quarterbacks in the league, be a Hall of Fame QB?
Yeah, I was a rookie in '69. And I started in '69. Terry came in, he was a rookie in '70,
right.
First pick in the draft. And we split time for a couple of years, then he won the job. And his progression was really the thing to see, because he had, came from a small school, and so he didn't have the notoriety, and he didn't have the people around him. So, he didn't have the great success early in his career. And so he had difficulty taking the criticism, because he'd never had criticism before. And so, and on a national scene. So, but you could see the talent that he had, the arm that he had, and you knew eventually it was going to click, and it did. He became, I still say, he's the most underrated quarterback ever. Because he was, because he's not throwing for 400 yards a game.
Didn't have to, right?
Back then, you didn't do it anyway. And everybody said, well, he played with a great defense. Well, you name me a team that won a Super Bowl who did not have a great defense. So Terry, he did everything right those years. And, he was 4-0 in Super Bowls, and it's tough to beat.
And your career, being a college football Hall of Famer, how special is that to have on the resume when you think back to, obviously, your career at Notre Dame?
It's wonderful. It's closure, actually. You always thought maybe you had a chance to do it, and it finally happened. And but then you realize that, football is different from any other sport. If you're playing baseball, you look at your batting average, you look at home runs you hit, then you can pretty much tell if you're going to get into the Hall of Fame. If you basketball, saying how many points you score and whatnot, and if you're a pitcher, the ERA and whatever. But in football, it's if I don't have a good offensive line, if I don't have receivers, and I don't have running backs, and I don't have a defense to get me the ball, I'm not going to be successful. So football, I think, is a more shared award. I talked to the guys. Because I go in this December, and I said, I'd love for all you, my linemen, to be there. And because they're the ones who really, made you.
When you look at the present-day state of Notre Dame, how impressive has the job Marcus Freeman been doing in your eyes? What has really stood out about how he's basically taken the program and getting them back to the levels that we haven't seen in a while, and certainly we haven't seen since you were a part of some of those great championship-caliber teams?
It's good to see Marcus come back and put Notre Dame where they belong. And he is such a wonderful person, and the kids really appreciate him, and they accept him, and they play for him. They play really hard, and he is a great recruiter. We've had some really bad coaches. We had a string of really bad coaches, and I think Marcus has really turned that around. And he's given Notre Dame depth. We always had pretty good frontline guys, but if we had one injury, we're sunk. But now we have that great depth that he does, and he's bringing it in every year. And he's a tireless person. That's great.
You ever think about how much money you, as a star quarterback at Notre Dame, a Heisman Trophy finalist, could have made in NIL if the rules were what they are today when you were playing?
Well, I'm just now negotiating with an attorney to go back and see if we can't get some NIL money.
Any eligibility left, Terry?
Well, I only played 3 years, so
Right.
now these kids are playing 6 years. So I figure I got 3 left, but I don't.
There was a kid at Miami, I think, that played for 9 somehow with COVID and injury designations. I mean, it's crazy how long you can play in some cases.
It is really crazy. I'm glad they're getting that COVID year out of there, and they're getting back to sort of normality of how many years the kids can play. But I just hope that this, I really see something bad happening in football and all sports collegiately, because you can't have the Pac-10 going to the Big Ten. When you have Southern Cal now in the Big Ten, UCLA in the Big Ten, that's money is going to be a problem, even for very wealthy schools. Because how can you have your volleyball team from California go to Maryland to play a Big Ten volleyball game?
Ridiculous.
It costs a lot of money to play ball, and you don't attract money. The only sports that make money are football, number one by far, and basketball. Everything else is subsidized by those sports, and it's going to be to the point where we're going to have to start cutting sports because they can't afford them. You cut a men's, you got to cut a woman. You cut a woman, you got to cut a man. So there's going to shrinkage of opportunities for kids coming out of high school. And you see Patino come out last year at the end of the year and says, "I'm not recruiting any high school players next year."
It's all the portal.
It's all the portal. And what's going to happen to these high school kids? Where are they going to go? I mean, they're going to go to the D League. They'll play a couple of years before they go to college. It's a mess now, and I hope they straighten it out pretty quick.
Tell us about your podcast, Hand Ratty's Huddle. You're getting into the broadcaster space, Terry.
I love, I was one of the first employees for ESPN.
Really?
Back in the day when they first started in Bristol, there was one, what do they call those big old
antennas? Yeah, satellites?
They had one satellite up there, and that was it. And Chris Berman and I and Paul McGuire, we had a gambling show. Picked the teams with the spreads. We were one of the first on cable. And then we do that on a Thursday night. And Chris was right out of Brown. And so we do that. Then Friday we'd all go to location and do a broadcast for a football game. So it was a lot of fun. But a couple guys talked me in, and I always enjoy, talking about sports, and I love all sports. So we cover all sports on a yearly basis. And Hand Ratty's Huddle, and it's fun. We got a couple guys who know how to produce things, because I don't. I can talk for whatever amount of time, but it's fun. It's something we do once a week, and we've done it about 2 years. And now this year, I think we're going to really explode, because we're going to get a couple good backers who are going to promote things and get it rock and roll this year.
Well, continued success with the broadcasting career once again, Terry. And I thank you for coming by. I'm glad that we were able to get at least one non-jet on the show today here at Marty's
Thanks,
event.
Jake. I appreciate it.
Terry, appreciate the time. Quick break. We'll continue with more. Jake Asman with you. We are live from the Marty Lyons Celebrity Golf Classic.
Do you guys remember there was an incident in Las Vegas where a man attacked a Clark County judge? After this happened, I said, the guy in the video is actually a listener of the show. So not the guy who basically like Troy Polamalu'd over like the judge dais. But the guy that is a listener of the show is the hero who tried to immediately apprehend this wacko. And yesterday, Michael Lasso, the law clerk who helped protect the Clark County judge who was attacked in court last month, was named Citizen of the Month in Vegas. You could see our guy Michael Lasso on the left there. It's a pretty cool moment for Michael, who joins us right now. What's up, Michael?
How you doing, Jake? Good to see you.
Man, what's it like being a hero?
Oh my God, you know what I mean? It's so, honestly, it's just so surreal and so humbling, truly. I never expected it to be, on SNL and TikTok and Twitter. And
while I fly this way, right? Mm-hmm. The bailiff, he run behind me, he fall down. Look at him, man. That's terrible, man.
It's really just incredible, to be honest. And that leap that man did was pretty impressive. And I think that's part of the reason why that video has gone so crazy.
I mean, the guy, like, he timed the snap perfectly, right? Like, he did the full Troy Polamalu over the, I mean, what goes through your mind in real time as that's happening? Like, you even have time to think? Was it all just natural reaction? Kind of take us through what's happening there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's no time to think, for sure. I mean, the video doesn't even do it justice, just that how fast that actually occurred. I mean, 1 minute he's sitting there just talking about how, he'll accept whatever the judge is willing to give him. And then the next minute he's on top of the judge. So when he initially made a run, I thought, okay, he's going for the door. last thing I thought he was going for the judge, and I definitely didn't think he was ever going to make contact. It was so nice to the mayor. It was so nice to the city. It was such an incredible experience. And I mean, when the mayor first called me, I answered the phone, and I'm thinking to myself, who is this? The mayor? Do you have the right number?
The video honestly doesn't even do it justice as to just how fast it really was. I mean, it went from just any normal day to just, honestly, just straight, havoc. I mean, it was in a blink of an eye, and there really wasn't much time to think. You just kind of react.
I mean, I remember when it happened, and like the video was everywhere, and then you told me that was you, and I was like, what? No way. And I just I couldn't believe it, man.
I know. I wish I could have came on your show earlier, but obviously the sentencing was still going on. There were things in motion, so I just couldn't. But I really appreciate you giving me a chance and coming on here.
It's not every day that, a listener to the show is like a legitimate hero. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, what ended up happening? Was he sentenced? Where's the guy who, attacked you?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, he was given the sentence he was going to get originally. He's got new charges that he's facing, and that's going on in a different courtroom with a different judge, and we'll kind of see where that goes.
Can you believe that when they brought me back to court, they put a muzzle on me, man?
Yeah, probably for everybody's safety.
Man, I ain't bite nobody.
That's unbelievable, man. I love it. A Jet fan is a hero out in Las Vegas.
And those clips of Judge Allen, oh my God, those had me dead. Oh my God, those are the best things I've ever seen. I don't know. I think Gatorade, those are incredible.
I believe you mean this right here.
I'd rather be the Jake Asman heel than the Robert Saleh truther any day of the week. But it's weird because I don't see myself as a heel. I think I'm a realist.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. You do not root for no damn New England to win shit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's too good. It's too good. Oh my God. Thank you again, Jake.
Michael, you're the man. Appreciate you joining the show, brother. We have the best audience. I've always said it. That's as good as it gets right there.
Here we go, buddy.
Let's go, baby. Good luck to the Irish, baby. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Jet fans.
Joe Douglas knows what he's doing.
You know what? I should probably mix in a water sip, too, so I got you.
We won too many games. We're not going to get Joe off.
I'm wearing the chain, baby. Last time this was worn, it was you. Oh, you got a TOJ glass there?
Oh, yeah.
So let's go.
Hey, let's go. Salute, deal. I love it.
Let's go, bro.
All right, I'll have a sip of water. Just kidding. Psych. Let's go, ladies.
I don't know what the hell y'all doing. Oh, Tyron Smith gonna be mauling all you motherfuckers in the division next year. Oh.
It just feels weird, you being on the other end of this video call. So I actually talking to the real Gator. I was fortunate because I got a chance to basically do radio every single week, doing a 1-hour talk show and call some games for the high school station for football, baseball, basketball, etc. That was...
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
Oh, yeah. We got another former Jet with us, ladies and gentlemen. The pride of Long Island, a former teammate of Aaron Glenn as well, former Jets wide receiver, Rob Carpenter, joins us now. Rob, you're a media guy as well, so I'm expecting a big-time podcast performance here to you.
Soon enough, man. Once the season starts, we get back into it. We kind of take the off-season off a little bit.
For you, what does it mean to be here at Marty's event? I know you've been here and involved with his foundation many times over the years. What's it like being a part of this one?
It's always good, man. As I was saying a little earlier to one of my friends, Marty does a lot for everyone around, especially in Long Island. I know he's done a lot for, especially my neighborhood in Amityville, for the kids with computers and books and a lot of stuff like that. Other families. So it's always good to come back, man. And Marty's one of my favorite former Jets, man. So it's good to come back here.
I think you're a lot of people's favorite former Jet, Rob. I mean, what was it like to make the transition in your career? You didn't start with the Jets, but when you got to the Jets at that point in your career, being a Long Island kid, what was it like to play for the hometown team?
That was actually probably one of the highlights of my career when I first put, the Jets uniform on. As you just said, I grew up a Jets fan. And finally getting able to come back here, put that jersey on, play for the hometown team, it was one of those things where it was a highlight. And, you're making plays on the field. So, family around, friends around, and it just felt so comfortable. And I was literally at home. And plus, we were right here at Hofstra, so definitely it was right at home.
How many ticket requests were you getting for all the games?
I cut it down, man. I'll be honest with you. Like, every week it would come, 10 to 20, and I'm like, listen, it's like 6 a week. I'll switch it up for 6. So I didn't want to go crazy with that every week.
Former Jets wide receiver Rob Carpenter with us here. You played with the Jets from 92 to 94. Aaron Glenn, the new head coach, of course, his rookie season was your last year with the team. What do you remember about rookie year AG?
that he was actually one of those guys that worked hard. AG wanted to be the best, so as soon as he walked in the door, you saw it. Like he's like, all right, I'm ready to work, and he put the work in. Like we had our little friendly competition with the punt returns early on, and I'm like, yo, this guy, he's the guy. Just let him go ahead and take the reins and go ahead and do it. But he had that work ethic. He was a guy that you could see was going to be a prolific player in the league.
What was it like to go up against him in practice, right? Receiver versus quarter.
So he worked. And he made you work. That's what I'm saying. Like, so when you got in practice field, you were with him. You saw he was one of those guys that was going to be a player for a long time in the league. He had the skill, he had the work ethic, he had it all. I'm just glad, initially, when he was up for the job as head coach, I'm like, I don't know if he wants to be his first job, here in New York, with the pressure and everything. But the good thing for him is that he played here for so long. He coached here with Parcells. Parcells put him through the ringer with everything, made him start from the bottom all the way up. So, he has that. He has that thing. He has that it factor to be able to handle the pressure here.
Do you think there's something to be said for that background that you're talking about, right? Being a player here, you got to start in scouting here. You understand he might be a first-time head coach, but he's not new to handling New York, and it takes a special personality to deal with everything that comes with being the head coach of the Jets.
Yes, and you saw it from the first press conference. He knows how to handle himself within the media. The guys on the team, they respect him. The front office respects him. So, when he's rebuilding this culture around here, that word that we like to use, the culture.
Oh yeah.
When everybody buys in, it makes the transition easier. And with him, like you just said, he's been here, so he knows how to handle the media. Playing here, you're under that spotlight. The scrutiny is there from day one. So he's gone through a player, coach, scout, everything now, head coach. So, I think he's ready for it.
What do you think of the state of the team? Training camp about a week away. Justin Fields now the new starter. When you look at this Jets team, what are you expecting as someone who played for the team and now obviously talks about them on a podcast as well?
I'm not expecting them to be as bad as everybody else thinks. To be honest with you, I know everything's brand new for them. Excuse me, everything's brand new for them. But Justin has the experience in the league. We saw what he started out doing last year with Pittsburgh. Hopefully that transfers over to here. He's got a fresh start. He's got a team that's behind him. Looking at him as the guy. He's got his former teammates from Ohio State with him. Garrett, Rucker, a few other guys around, and the guys look for him as saying that he is the guy. So when you have that confidence behind you, and you have that experience, I'm looking for them to make an impact in the AFC.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people from maybe the outside don't realize. This team does still have a tremendous amount of talent. You go through the defense, they have a former all-pro level player at all three levels. You mentioned Garrett, Breece Hall. Obviously, what he could do, the line should be as good as it's been in a very long time.
Yes.
To me, it comes down to coaching and then just the play of Fields. And I think that's why people are just struggling to really feel great about this team because there's so many unknowns with what Aaron Glenn is now as a head coach, what Tanner Engstrand is as a first-time play caller, and then just Justin Fields and the complete unknown on what he is now.
That's what it is. It is the unknown for everyone looking in. And I think that's why the quote-unquote negativity is around a little bit as far as them not competing in the AFC. I just see it different. There is new coach, players, especially on offense, but these guys have experience. Aaron doesn't have the head coaching experience, but he has the experience of coaching in big games. He has the experience of coaching guys to their best ability. Justin, being the guy that he is, with the struggles in Chicago, everybody saw it. But if you actually look at him, the way he played in Chicago, he did things really good. He did a lot of things good. Team just wasn't that great. Gets to Pittsburgh, he knew he wasn't going to be the starter, but when he was installed as the guy from day one, he played well for what they asked him to do. Now I think with this offense, they're going to ask him to open it up a little bit, look at him to open it up a little bit, not just be kind of a one-dimensional QB, which is good for him because as I was speaking to Otis just a little while ago, we were talking about him at Ohio State. He actually wasn't just really just a runner. He was a passing QB at Ohio State. He threw the ball down the field a lot. So, I'm looking for that. I know Garrett is happy.
That's right.
To be that guy, to get the ball down the field. So it's going to be a refresher to see when they actually get on the field finally to start.
From one former Jet wide receiver to talking about a current one, and Garrett Wilson, what have been your impressions watching him in his first 3 years? And he's someone I think a lot of Jet fans, myself included, want to see this team take care of and extend and make him a Jet for life. Your thoughts on Garrett and what makes him, the player that he's been in the league so far?
He's just a phenomenal athlete, man. You saw it from his years at Ohio State. And when you have a guy that's that good of an athlete who works as hard as he does, the sky's the limit. And we see it, like you just said. I was already hoping they extended him. You know what I mean? So he's here. I know he wants to be here. And with Justin being back there, I'm looking for a lot of big plays this year. I think the offense is going to open up a little more for him. Brees will be the guy in the backfield, and that three-headed monster you have as far as running backs go. There are other weapons around Garrett, so it's going to open up more for him, I believe, the way this offense should run. So he'll probably have, his best year that he's had in the league, hopefully. And it's just going to, again, the sky's the limit for him, man. He's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal wide receiver.
Now, the Jets drafted a receiver in the 4th round, Arian Smith out of Georgia, and you watch him, the speed's there, the athleticism's there. The knock on him is he's had issues with drops. As a former player, former wide receiver, can you fix an issue with drops? How does Arian Smith go about preventing an issue in college from being something that carries with him to the NFL?
Not think about it. He knows he makes the plays. When he was in college, the knock was that he had drops, but he made a lot of plays also when he was in college. But him coming into the league now, I think one of the good things for him is that the work ethic is there for him. Everyone talked about it, during the All-Star games and everything from his coaches in college, as well as having the wide receivers coach that with Sean being there to be able to work with him with it. So it's just a concentration thing with him. And I think the faster he learns the offense, the more he'll settle down. I don't think they'll put a whole lot of pressure on him, to start. He is going to be that guy they look for big plays for sure. We all know that. Run a 4-2, you're going to blow the top off the defense, and they want that. If he makes plays early on, it's just going to get better for him. So that'll be the key for him, just getting off to a fast start. And I think they'll do things to help him out with that. Just get the ball in his hands really fast, let him do what he can do with his speed, and then eventually just, start plugging him in. But it's a good thing for him, man. The drops can be worked on, absolutely.
What are you
just concentration?
Yeah, and I think speaking of concentration, what are your thoughts on Malachi Corley, right? First pick of the 3rd round, the previous regime traded up for him. We barely see him. The one time we see him, he's dropping the pass at the, the 1-inch line in a game that, the Jets, thankfully, were able to still win, but we all know how that would have went if it went different. Your thoughts on him, and is there a path for him to still be an impact player in this offense this year?
I think so, but he's probably going to play a little more special teams as well as playing wide receiver. It's just unfortunate that, again, unfortunate for him, they drafted Aaron Smith. And we know Aaron Smith is going to be in the game. So he's got a long road to actually get on the field. For him, without special teams, I don't think it's going to be that much playing time for him. And who knows, with the numbers they have at wide receiver right now, he might actually be one of the guys that's out of the loop and will probably end up with another team.
Rob, this was great to get you on the show in person.
Sure,
I look forward to you bringing back the podcast when we get closer to the season. I'm sure I'll see you at training camp as well.
For sure. Absolutely.
Rob Carpenter, former Jet wide receiver, the pride of Long Island as well, played for the hometown Jets, with us here at Marty Lyons charity golf outing. More coming up. Quick break. We're back with more Jake Asman with you here on a Monday, July 14th, 2025.
The New York J-E-T-S Jets.
Come on!
Select Will McDonald, linebacker,
What?
Iowa State.
What the
Let's
fuck?
go.
I can't believe this shit!
All
What
right.
the fuck?
Hey, there we go. Light it up, Ricky. Yeah, let's get back to your calls right now. One of our favorites is on the Ghostbuster hotline. Ricky NY joins us now. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Thanks for taking my call, Jake. I just finished smoking all the available weed in the panhandle, so bear with me if I collapse here in front of my personalized flag. Any chance you could send that boxing guy, Gary, to the Jameis Winston town? Maybe Gator can build a special hall for quarterbacks who throw more interceptions than completed passes. Well, not a Florida guy, but can go to Seminoles all the way there. If you got a whole lot, get all of them in there. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I got to relight this thing. Hold on a second. I just got this new blowtorch lighter. Let's try it out. Try it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have backed off that setting a bit. Anyway, Jake, I'll hang up for now and grab the burn kit again. Later, brother.
Oh my God.
Yo, Gator is different, man. That dude is different.
Let's keep going with the calls right now. It looks like, wow, I cannot believe this guy actually showed his face. A man who owes us 25 memberships in honor of 25 career interceptions by Zach Wilson. Hawk has called in for the very first time. Hello, Hawk.
Hey, Tyson, what's up, man? Hey, Jake, before you send me to the Shadow Realm, let me ask Tyson about Zach. Tyson, don't you think we can keep Zach Wilson and just let him start the first few games? I mean, we all know the kid just needs another year behind center, and that'll really get him going. I mean, Crowan, man, you know he's freaking awesome, bro. Marin win.
Oh man, you're killing me.
Hawk, thank you for calling in, and we'll see you in the realm.
Into the Shadow Realm you go. That's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. This guy is...
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.
All right, our last guest has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why I'm a Jet fan who has no idea how to put on a radio headset despite claiming he's a broadcaster, Steve Asman joins us, my dad. Hello, Dad.
Hello, world. And yes, I don't need it right in my face because my voice enunciates loud enough that all your fans can hear me.
This was your first time producing the show. How do you think you've done so far? You've been able to bring guests in and out. How do you think you performed?
A+. Was with Donald Trump said it was huge. I was legendary.
Incredible. Yeah. Marty Lyons, you actually watched them play. You watched the Sack Exchange play.
I used to drink with him, too.
You've told those stories before. What does it mean to you to be here at his charity golf tournament, giving out Gustbuster umbrellas to everybody as well?
Well, it was nice that Marty has always been a great New York player and always took care. I mean, a charity is not an easy thing to do. You look at the size of this charity, which your viewers really can't see, but there's going to be, three or over 300 and something people in this room tonight. On top of, I think he has 47 foursomes. It's a very large charity event, and this is a very nice club. They gave a lot of wonderful gifts, and that takes, people who are probably spending almost $1,000 a head to play here. So he raises a lot of money. He's got all of his celebrities are extremely nice, and obviously it was not that hard to do. It's not like we were working a Super Bowl and I had to go squeeze them down. It wasn't that hard to twist their arms.
Who was the
Normally it's a
toughest
lot
guest
harder.
to try and chase and get on the show?
There weren't any. Even Marty was easy.
Oh yeah, I mean Marty was the reason why we're here.
I also told them they were going to get a free gift, so it was easy because I gave him an umbrella, so I cheated.
Yeah, my dad has been just throwing out umbrellas to all the guests, Gustbusters.
Well, your viewers have them, so why not some of the guests? I haven't done a golf outing or a tour event in over a year, so I'm chopping it. I guess I'm gonna have to go out and do one. Do the Ryder Cup with you.
Your other son is watching. He says, "Why wasn't I told Steve is coming on?" WTF?
Because you're not liked as much as the other one.
Well, we ran out of guests here, Zach, so I figured, we're really scrapping at the bottom of the barrel for this
Zachary,
last one.
by the way, that's not true. I love you more than your brother.
Zach Asman using a super chat here. 2 legends. I do want to say this as we're wrapping up here, nearly 2 hours. Thank you again to the Marty Lyons Foundation for having us out here. I've had some incredible interviews that have been on the show today. I got Gator helping me out, isolating those, so we'll have different videos with those specific interviews up. Former Jet greats, not just Marty, who, of course, led us off today, but Lance Mehl came on the show. We had Bobby Crable, former Jets first-round pick. Former Jet Aaron Beasley was on, and a bunch of others. We just spoke with Rob Carpenter. So if you want to listen back to anything you might have missed, either rewind this or be on the lookout for some of those videos. And we are going to do a signed Sack Exchange giveaway on my next stream. So everyone who gifted a membership towards the Marty Lyons Foundation, or anyone who sent in a super chat that qualifies, we will add your name to the list for this specific daily raffle. And if you don't win, you got a chance to win a signed Bill Parcells helmet, Aaron Glenn signed helmet, and a signed Rex Ryan photo in our next weekly raffle. So we're trying to raise a bunch of money here for Marty's Foundation. Thanks to everyone who also sent Venmos before the show today. 100% of that will go towards Marty's foundation. How we
It's
feeling
a great,
about?
It's a great look. It's not easy to run a charity, and one this size and what he's done. And I've heard some of the things from some of the people here that have raised the money. He's done a lot of good things with it, and that takes a lot. It takes a lot of his time. So he's really a good-hearted guy because sitting on a board of a charity, it's not easy. It's a thankless job, and the fact that he's done this for, I don't know, 40 years, I guess it is about, maybe a little more.
Why are you wearing a Dolphins shirt?
It's not a Dolphins. It's a polo shirt.
Well, Chad says, why are you wearing Dolphins colors?
Well, Chad can't see a horse. There's no fish. I would never wear a fish. They're lucky I actually made them umbrellas, the Dolphins, because
you should have worn an Asmaniac polo.
I don't actually only have the T-shirts, to be honest. I like the T-shirts better. The Asmaniac T-shirts. I like them better than the shirts for some reason.
Beastbreaker says, your dad equals smart man. Your thoughts on the highest praise you can get from any of our listeners. Beastbreaker calling you smart.
Well, Beastbreaker, it's amazing that you recognize genius.
Bo C recognizes genius. He just gifted 10 channel memberships. Bo, thank you.
Bo.
I will make sure that we get you in our Sack Exchange photo raffle. And, of course, proceeds from this are going towards Marty's foundation. So, Bo, I will play this for you because you deserve it, but I can't find it. Where is it?
Are you going to do some more interviews tonight?
No, you're the last interview today.
We're not going to go for a couple of the other guys?
They're on the golf course. I'm going to be able to track them down.
When you're done later on, before dinner.
Yeah, that's not going to be till 5. I got things to do later.
Okay. I thought, we were going to grab a few more.
Well, let me just play this for Bo first. Bo.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Bo, thank you. And once again, I want to acknowledge the super chat that came in earlier from Joe C. going towards Marty's foundation. Joe got you down in the raffle. Chef Kevin with a super chat. My Gustbuster umbrella is still undefeated.
Oh, my son bought this hat, guys. This is my new Jet hat. I hardly ever wear it.
Why, you have no pride in your team?
I wear a Jet green one to work every day.
That's right.
But this is my fancy one, so I wore it for you today because it's white, and it would get filthy any other day.
You ever think, wow, I turned my son into a Jet fan and created just nightmare after
You're
nightmare.
lucky. You should thank.
PTSD.
You should walk the ground that I walk on. That I made you a Jet fan. You think you would do as well as a Giant fan on a YouTube podcast?
I would have seen 2 Super Bowls. Would have been great.
But you'd be po. You'd have no income. This
I don't
is
know
your
about that.
mainstream
I
income
just would have done more radio. But the career would have been different. Instead of leaving Houston, I would have taken that job I got offered in Sacramento or something like that.
Oh, is this where you want to be in Sacramento? You're going to follow the Kings?
I don't know. I would have needed the job in some capacity.
Then you would have had a 3-hour time difference to follow your team. So
Well,
it would have been a nightmare.
The Jet fan base is the best part.
That's
being
right.
a Jet fan.
See, that's why you should thank me that I made you the right kind of fan. I mean, you cheated. You're a Yankee fan. You should be a Met fan.
You didn't even care about baseball. It's your fault.
Well,
if you liked baseball,
did I take you with Davey? Did I get Davey Johnson to give you the players' tickets?
If you
Did I
care,
get you
if
right
you
up
care,
front?
I say this every time. If you cared about baseball the way you care about the Jets, I easily would have been a Met fan. But you didn't. And Uncle Evan, shout out to Evan
I
Wagner.
don't know.
He took me to my first ever Yankees game, and the rest is history. You had your chance.
I took you first class, 5-star. You were sitting in the owner's box for crying out loud twice. I took you to the players. Well, they were the Nationals at the time because Davey Johnson was the coach. But even took you to the Nationals.
You didn't
sat with
care.
The players' wives.
Great. He took me to a game.
You got balls at every time you went, too. Come on. How much more of a Met fan could I have made you?
Hold on. B says, relax, have a hot dog. You want to go have a hot dog?
No, otherwise I'll look like Beast.
That's true.
I'm getting fat again. I can't get any more weight.
Beast is 259 pounds. I'll tell you that
He's
himself.
259 pounds. I'm a porn star.
Wow. That's a visual I did not need. Thank you for that one. Last chance here to get in. Again, super chats and gifted memberships going towards.
I like Beast, but there's no way he's 259 pounds because I know how much I weigh. Beast, I'm 10 pounds lighter than 259. Maybe 12 pounds lighter than 259. So there's no way.
Hey, Beast, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't think you want to go with this power right here. This is too much power for one man. Let me address this one time.
Are we talking about your floor joist?
Wait
a minute. Are we talking about the floor?
This body is mad destruction there. This is like a combat chamber. You can't beat it. You can't break it. I'm hard to break, but I will not. Let me just say it one time.
No, you may be hard to break, but the floor you walk on
Oh,
maybe
fuck up
Get
the
his
tree.
ass, Beast. Get him.
It needs to be
Let me just say
concrete.
this.
Get him,
Jake the
Beast.
Snake Roberts once said, "Come out of this tree. Come here. Come out of this tree."
What tree? I want to know what tree you're climbing. I want to. I'll pay money to watch you
Come out
climb
of
the
this
tree.
tree. And see if old Damien will come out.
You know what? I bet you Neil would back me with that too. Neil, you want to go partners with me? We'll pay to watch Beast climb a tree. Is Neil on?
Beast, why is it so dark in the attic today? It's
Where's Bonesy? Bonesy will take some of that action.
This is the best global studio headquarters in America, but it's built by design. See, when you deal
finally
with
got a microphone that works. What are you
when
talking
you got the
about?
best, let me just say for all you one-timers, if you want good deals, you come to a master. I deal with the best from people across the world, from Israel to Japan to Mexico to Canada, even the British. See,
That's
you
right.
want good deals, you come to a king.
That's
I'm a
right.
master.
Well said, Beast.
How do you think I get around? Up here, common sense. Common sense equals.
I thought
perfect
maybe one of those buggies with the wheelchair on wheels.
I don't
Do you think
so,
Beast
buddy.
will win any Azzy Awards? Did you hear about the Azzies that we're doing that starts tomorrow?
The Azzy Awards.
We're doing the first ever Azzy Awards. Here are some of the wonderful categories here. Rumble of the Year. Beast is in a couple of these.
Oh, Beast, Bobby, and my favorite, number one.
Best hair.
Who should have
Charles Gorman.
Who should have won the whatchamacallit? I
Asmaniac
still don't know how
Madness?
he didn't win Asmaniac Madness, Charles Gorman.
Well, he got catfished live on the air. That hurt his chances. He was
Yeah.
winning
not,
and then
not that good.
That should have beat the catfish part. Should have won him the event. I mean, that was the home run of home runs that he got catfish.
biggest prankster and pot stirrer. That's a great one. Wildest hair. You think Beast has a chance in the wildest hair category?
Oh, absolutely. You should win that one. Beaster, you should paint that thing purple or green now. Just to close it off.
In Japan, we don't do that. In Japan,
They don't do
people
that in Japan.
Japan. Oh, you're in Japan now? I thought
they
you were
would
outside
hate
of
you for
Chicago.
that.
Now you're in Japan?
See,
Best
I
beard.
got-
We got some
I got
great beards.
He'd be the
Well,
best
I got
sumo
good
wrestler in Japan.
Best takes. Worst takes. We got a lot of those.
How about sumo wrestling? Beast, you doing
No,
that?
thank
How
you.
about How about the best mascot? Neil's dog Duke
how
is
about
one of
you
the
watch
nominees.
this from New Japan?
Beast's guinea pig, Little Joey's nominated.
I can't see that.
Bobby Midnight's cat, Nala. Gary's dog, Cannoli. We also have Young Guns.
How is Gary's dog, Cannoli?
That's the name of the dog. His favorite guest host, co-host. We got Jeff. We got Will. We got Dylan. Fialco. Biggest show villain, Gary, B-Mac, JJ, Alan. I know you don't like Alan.
Alan's the hands down winner of that, but he
Yeah.
doesn't go on the air anymore, so he
He
can't.
retired, but he's still able to watch every show. Funny how that works.
He's probably on right now.
Oh, he is. He was already making comments.
What'd he say?
He was like, I don't even think I bookmarked
Hey,
it.
he's a turkey.
Exactly, Beast.
Beast, we agree.
Most
Alan
knowledgeable
needs to
Jet
come
fan.
on the air.
Gracias.
Most anticipated return. Alan is nominated in that one. Wingman. We got Bonesy, PBM, Addison, Nate. They're on. Greatest Charles Gorman moment. An entire category just for you. Him being catfished. Him using a machete to shave. The couple at the diner.
I still think the catfish has to win. That's Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Poopgate.
He's just Charles Gorman should be very thankful that your listeners bailed him out of trouble.
Best rapper. Blitz BK, Jets Johnny, PBM, and JJ. You're 100% right about that. We get the best listeners. Fall from Grace, Bobby Midnight, Rob from Glenhead,
Why is
B-Mac,
Bobby
Chiefs fan.
fall for grace?
He's just very moody. He's not the same jolly, jovian fella that he used to be.
Maybe he needs a bath.
He's been better of late. Yeah, he probably smells. Bobby, if you're watching, go for a bath today,
He
please.
stinks.
Exactly, Beast. Most likely to make the Jets, Mr. Bonesy, Kyle Clifton, Rob from Glenhead. You met Rob, Big Rob,
Yes, Big Rob. I like Big Rob.
King Lowski.
Big Rob and Neil are my two favorites.
That's right. Gary, biggest meltdown over his moon landing takes. Mets 2128. Bobby yelling
But
about
Bobby-
Santa Claus.
Gary's still claiming it's fake.
Yeah, Gary's not a moon landing believer.
Well,
He's a denier. He doesn't believe in achievement, to quote Dave Brigham.
well, I know guys, on Long Island. I grew up with a guy who built part of the Moonlander, so I would definitely disagree with Gary.
Keyboard Warrior, got Chris B, Bill M, Tom Ace, and Rich. These guys never call, but they impact the show with their comments. Best fake name, we got Kyle Clifton. The great Mike D's Nuts, Black Gypsy, We the People.
Mike D's Nuts should win that one.
Mike D's Nuts is great. Best intro, Kyle Clifton. The Big Fella, One Punch Brigga, David T. This was such a hard category to only get to 4. And then the last award is Rookie of the Year. Barbarossa,
Yeah, but
Beastbreaker.
the theme music is made by the one and only Gator.
Correct,
right?
but the best Gator intro. That's what we're talking about. There's so many of them. So those are the Azzies. They start tomorrow. Voting will be 1 award per show, 4 nominees in a YouTube poll.
You giving him a statue?
We're going to give away the Marty Lyons
You
bronze
can't even steal
statue
that
here.
thing away so much.
This is the heaviest trophy I've ever found.
I went to move it. I was shocked at how heavy
It has to be at least 80 pounds.
It's
if not more.
It's
80
yeah,
pounds, no threat. No threat.
Beast, thank you for the time, buddy. Great job.
In Japan, as they all say, sayonara, amigo.
Microphone, and now he can't shut him up.
Well, here's the thing. The mic is not actually plugged in. That's what he doesn't realize. Gator sentiment is not even plugged in. What happened was, I guess Gator was able to connect his webcam mic to the StreamYard.
Now it
so
works.
it just better than whatever his computer setup was. But his mic is not actually working, which is hilarious. All right. Kyle Clifton said, better off Sacramento is Cowtown. By the way, the approximate weight of the statue for the Walter Payton Man of the Year is 40 pounds, but this is from 1984, Andy, so I don't know if it was different back then. Sacramento.
That feels way heavier than 40 pounds.
Yeah, I think it is. Jess, thank you. I got you down in this afternoon's raffle for 5. And then Johnny Boy with a question here. 2 questions for Pops. What would don't answer the first one? And craziest young Jake Asman story. Let's go Mets. Let's go Jets.
I would never tell the craziest because his brother's involved. His brother when he was little, but there are no crazy other than the fact that when my son was a pioneer at Twitter, I didn't find it funny. He got himself in trouble in high school.
That's right.
With Twitter.
We impersonated our unhinged biology teacher on Twitter.
And he got in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I was not thrilled.
1 day suspension during finals week. Would have been 5 if there were days of school left. And then the following year, an unnamed teacher in the science department came up to me and said, thank you for your service. That was the funniest thing we've ever seen.
Did you know the principal called me the next day to thank me because I got so angry with the assistant principal that he called me to thank me because most parents aren't as animated as I was at the time. I was very upset with my son.
I have zero regrets. He deserved it.
And since I keep my kids equal, I'll give you the Zachary moment when he went to a concert with a water bottle full of vodka and almost gave himself alcohol poisoning. Another genius move. So each one of them has their moment. They only got one. Otherwise, they'd be missing fingers.
Gator says, needless to say, I'm not isolating the dad interview as a standalone presentation. I would agree.
No, don't leave me on. I don't want any of these awards. I want him to go to his Asmaniac pack, or as I like to call the Howard Stern of sports listeners.
Will you be attending the first Asmaniac watch party, which is coming up on August 16th at T-Squared Social?
Yes.
Jets Giants. Get your tickets, people. Link in the description, and I could share with you guys some of the prizes we're already going to be raffling away. This is the biggest prize we have ever given out at any watch party, a signed, framed photo by Jets running back Breece Hall. Also giving away 2 tickets to our Asmaniac game for the Jets Panthers and a signed Wayne Corbett jersey plus a signed Aaron Glenn jersey among our raffle prizes. So please, please, please lock in your ticket. Jets Giants Asmaniac watch party August 16th.
Did you tease your little surprise for September?
No.
For every Sunday?
No. So that's why you should have mentioned
I'm going to
So
tease
this
it.
is where you say nothing.
I'm not saying any more.
No, don't say, did you tease something? Say something about September and then try and walk it back.
I want to walk it
No,
back.
no. You don't. I will never tell you anything anymore. You're now out of the circle of trust. But yes, there is a cool programming announcement coming in September.
That's all it is.
So
It's
stay
just
tuned.
a program announcement.
That's it. Yeah, but you didn't word it that way. Anyway, fun show. I want to thank the Marty Lyons Foundation for having us here. Thank you to Andy Greenberg for being here, helping us out. You'll hear more from Andy in the coming weeks. We're working on something big for all Jet fans out there. Plus, I want to thank Kenny and his team for helping us with the guests and giving us a great space to broadcast the show from. Thank you to Steve
I'll do
Asman.
another tease. Andy's thing's going to be a lot of fun, guys. You guys are going to like that.
Your teases suck. Thank you to Dad for producing. We are out of time. I want to thank everyone who sent in a super chat. If you're not watching live and you still want to contribute to Marty's foundation today, my Venmo is in the description for this video. It's just Jake-Asman. Look for the guy wearing the Jets jersey. You'll recognize me, and you can send me a payment there, and 100% of it will go towards the Asmaniac donation we're going to make for Marty's foundation, which, of course, does amazing work for granting the wishes of young children dealing with terminal illness. So thanks again to Marty, and an amazing job by everyone here putting this event together on Long Island. Be back in a few hours for an afternoon stream. I will talk to you guys then. Until then, JETS, 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 Jets. Take us away. Take us out of here, Beast.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't? You can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.